The opinions expressed of this show are for entertainment purposes and should not be misconstrued or interpreted as fact. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
Introducing Pubcoin. Pubcoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into Pubcoins. Pubcoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Your membership to Gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the Gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! Here he goes. There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here. Oh, look at Nussflush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Can. Kenny Can wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Res Mall make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Can Smoking Mirrors. Director 97 home. That is way. Here comes Jason Meyer, the other auto custodian. Billy Friedrich. Jones one all coming down to the finish.
Coin! Fired! That's nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
From the corporate Peter Loshak, legendary sports handicapper, more dapper than a Dom. By the young phenom known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA, when we all PSR Pub Sports Radio is all. Is a man named Slaughter, and he Mentioning this shit, they quick to trip. But we say we be pubbing. Betting up the bag and you love it. We want a top 10, we above it. Leche.
There you go. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. How's my audio, Jim? I'm not using my external mic now, just a computer mic. Is that all right?
It sounds good, man. It sounds good.
Better than usual. Yeah. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. You know, August 12th, 2025 here, baby. Loshak in the Bag Show. He's Jimmy the Bag. I'm Peter Loshak. We're going to go over the card with you today. And then some WNBA. Dallas first half. That's gotta be a nice little play there, Jim. Right?
I am absolutely loving my first full year of capping WNBA. I am going to smash it next year. The teams not showing heart has captured my imagination the most. And so there's spots where you don't see any heart being shown by these teams. One, and it's the opposite in the NBA. One is when the star player's out, they crumble every time. Also, and this is something I'm going to be focusing on heavy as the year goes on. And that last game of a road trip, heartless, nothing. They just don't seem to care. The Connecticut Sun would be making me so much money. I did not want to back them on the second half of a back-to-back, which is something I've been backing teams on, second half back-to-backs in WNBA. And I didn't want to against the Valkyries, who are missing their star player. And they get slaughtered by the Valkyries. And the initial move was towards the Connecticut Sun that went down to 7.5, came back to 8.5. But these teams are just showing, they're just like, I don't want to talk about their character. I'm learning about how to cap this. I'm my first full year, but there are some issues with character, heart, or lack of in difficult situations.
Sure. And how'd you do in week one of the preseason?
I went 4-2. I went 4-1. I went 0-1 in the Hall of Fame game, so I was 0-1.
Okay.
Then I went 4-1. I made some choices this weekend not to. I find them very difficult caps. You have to, really put your script together and who's going to be in and what that, and it's just. So I would like it if there's not very many weekday games this week. Next week we have a ton, so we'll be able to attack the Thursday, Fridays. It's all about how much time. There's just not enough time in the day, generally speaking. But I thought I was going to cash on the Lions and the under in the game that was stopped after the injury. So I really thought I was going to be 6-2, but those were voided bets, unfortunately. I'm pumped up though. It's just again, Pete, not enough time in the day. Quick shout out to JR Swish blessing us with $10 dono to get our card and day started, get our week started here. Although I've been starting my action on Medicate Mondays with Dutch and Dabby Cab, but thank you, JR Swish. The biggest and most important question, Pete, is how is the Bet Bash? Tell us where you are and how it's been.
Well, it hasn't even started yet, but I've been here for a few days, so I guess probably get a little bit of a pass. I'm a little bit underprepared for today's show. Not too bad, but a little bit underprepared. Last night when I should have been, researching this card hard, instead I was at a piano bar. I'd have a video of this, literally watching like two piano players, a gay guy and like a 55-year-old chick playing "It's Tricky" by Run DMC, singing it like "It's tricky to rock around, that's right on time, it's tricky." So that's what I was doing last night. So I'm a little bit unprepared. Also, got to go to a steakhouse, and I can't finish those fucking things. So I got half a T-bone here. If you don't, can I eat this on cam, Jim? Is that cool? This is a nice T-bone steak. Cold, sometimes it's even better than hot. Is that all right? Will that ruin the show?
It makes the show. It makes the show.
Yeah, last night I went to a steakhouse. I went to this piano bar, watching gay guys sing renditions of 80s and 90s rap songs. So I'm a little bit unprepared for today's show, but not super unprepared. Just the last few games a little bit off.
At least you have a valid excuse.
Yeah,
Peter. At least you have a valid excuse. Thank you guys for doing. What hotel are you in right now?
A little bit embarrassing. I'd rather keep that private if you don't mind. You know,
Are you
I still have somewhat of a reputation to uphold here, Jim.
Are you there? Are you there for the entire trip?
No, hell no. Oh, no. This was just my pre-gaming, as the kids call it. Yeah, I just came down for a few days. Wanted to catch the Backstreet Boys, but it was sold out, so I couldn't go see them on Sunday. You think I'm kidding, right? All this is true. Backstreet Boys played a show here.
Oh my God! And you wanted to see it?
No, all right. You're right. Okay, you got me, Jim. That was not true. That part was not true.
Okay. Pete, you are a very mysterious man. And I love it. I love seeing all the captains in the chat ready to rock here. Pete's locked in. You can feel Vegas just hearing the man speak and chewing on a T-bone at 9:11 a.m. Pacific time. We got Justin Mcelvy, Naylor, and Dodgers team total over 5.5. He will be joining us for our WNBA breakdowns. Ronnie Lofton says, "Didn't one of you get eaten by a tiger?" It's perfect timing to have Siegfried and Roy on our thumbnail. I liked it. I liked it a lot. We have Pig Milk play of the day in. So we have stacks in with Naylor and the Dodgers team total over 5.5. We got our plays of the day rolling in from our guys. So shout out first off to Justin Mcelvy. Stacks is in. It's Naylor RBI, Dodgers team total over 5.5. We'll talk about both of those spots. Shout out to our guy Justin.
Stacks.
We also have two Pig Milk plays of the day here. Dana White Contender Series, Radley De Silva, plus 112. Also, Pig Milk number 2, Brian Reynolds over 1.5 bases at plus 190. Says, I also love the White Sox to beat the Tigers outright at plus 150. I've already bet it, but not going to make it the play of the day. Peter, this is my favorite video now on our show. Pig Milk play of the day. We have the nuke worker in the house. It's Happy Tuesday, fellas. Let's get down to business. Talk about the next 2 Saturdays the nuke worker has ahead of him, Mr. Loshak. This Saturday, he's at the King's Plate. The King's Plate, and it's a great field. As always up here, a Philly's the favorite, and the King's Plate is pretty wild. The Philly won the Oaks. Probably goes off at 3-1. And he's got the hotel room looking out at the track. And not just this Saturday. And I would be there with him this Saturday, but it is where it's my daughter's birthday party. Can't get out of that one.
Jim, how old is she now?
She's 8, turning 8 years old. Ella.
Wow, life goes by fast.
It does. She's turning 8 years old, so I can't be there. But the following Saturday, I will be alongside the nuke worker. There is 12 of us. We have 3 tables of 4. Now, we have a 4th table reserved just in case. But 3 tables of 4 right now. There's 12 of us going to be at Woodbine Racetrack the following Saturday, that being the 23rd. And I can't wait for that. So back-to-back Saturdays for nuke worker with hotels at Woodbine Racetrack. And that's a brand new hotel. I'm looking forward to see it. I've never been inside it. Brand new hotel and looks out at the horse track. So nuke worker's got pretty exciting couple Saturdays ahead of him. Says getting ready for the draw for post positions for the King's Plate. King's Plate's a great race to make money on, especially the superfecta. There's always going to be a 20 to 1 to 50 to 1 that gets in there. And it's going to be a lot of fun to bet. We got a Big Daddy Boom, Leo, Mike Rocock ready to get to work. Jermaine, Wine Time Sports, Lil Domo. Great to see all you guys. Vaughn Polo in the house. And I don't know if you've heard about this, but Peter, our brand new show on Pub Culture TV is Money in the Bank. Look good, smell good squad with Vaughn Polo. The first episode's great. We need to work as a community to help promote this because we didn't promote it as well as I would have liked for that first episode. And it's Money in the Bank, and it's evergreen content, man. You can watch it anytime, any year. It's spectacular. I love it. Everybody loves it. We just need to get more eyes on it. Shout out to our guy Vaughn Polo, Charm City in the house. We got Ryan ready to go. Steve G, Lil Domo, Spooner says, good luck, everybody. There's Occupancy. Crystal Craig, 9 Legacy. Flank stake play of the day is the Texas Rangers -1.5. And then Astros double result. And Schwarber continuing his hit parade here. Let's get all this copied and pasted. Swaggy McNolegs in the house. Wine Time Sports, his entire week 0 and week 1 action for college football already posted and pinned on his X. I will help that. Nasty Nate saying, is that Ron Jeremy? A healthy Ron Jeremy. You look like a very healthy, successful Ron Jeremy.
You know, doing all right. I'm a little bit disappointed in myself for not being more prepared for this show, but that's all right. We'll have a good one. Baby.
Well, I started my preparation. I had a bunch of family over yesterday, so I told them I got to work, and it was perfect. So I just worked all day and all night and didn't have to be a part of whatever was happening out there, which was great. Irish King ready to get to work. Steve G, Jay Rivera, Rem Most says, can we talk about what porn set Pete is broadcasting from today? And there's that JR Swish Domo. Thank you, JR Smith. AOD Nordy in the house as well. Great to see you, Nordy, my man. We got JM ready to go. Nut Flush Allen in the house. Got to hear what he thinks about this Giants game. I was trying to figure out, you're piecing it together. Why is the line the way it is? What is it? Why? And then you get to what the Giants are doing against left-handed pitching. You're like, oh, okay. So the Giants aren't hitting any lefties. Yes, I know that Nestor Cortez is very capable of pitching terribly, but really against the Giants in a run-suppressing ballpark, we'll talk all about that here. We got Timmy Two Shoe ready to go. Billy Friedrich says, Loshak channeling the spirit of Al Hrabosky.
I do know who that is. I'm going to have to refresh my memory, though. But he was a baseball player.
Serious business. Dav Fenn. Old E in the house. Nasty Nate says, my daughter needs a birthday pick. Oh, beautiful. That's what we need. We need pressure. Yeah. Now, I know that our guy, Mr. Loshak, does not like this picture. He wants the picture of him drinking lean, hammering lean back.
For
now. Oh,
you know how like when chicks go at their birthday, they wear like a "It's my birthday" sash. What if I just wear that at Bet Bash, get Sean Higgs, take a couple pics or videos of me, and use that? Would that be okay? Could that retire this stupid fucking thing?
Perfect. If you want this one retired,
that is the most I've given up on life music ever. At least the music. Jesus Christ. At least put some Slayer in. Now Slayer's copyrighted. I don't know, man.
We got Jason Meyer, the Eldorado custodian, T-Moss in the house. We got TJ ready to get to work as a living, breathing star of fear and loathing in Las Vegas, Mr. Peter Loshak. Robert Franklin's a steak and leg. Great to see all of you guys. Thank you for rocking with us. It is time to get to work here. We got Spooner's action here. Spooner's action. Brewers, Mets, Padres, Athletics. That Brewers game is going to be so much fun to attack and break down. I'm very, very, very excited about it. I'm very upset, though. We talk about the things and mistakes that we make, but I mean, the Brewers are printing money, and here I am just sitting on futures with them and doing nothing. There's so much money to be made off this baseball team that's giving you 100% every day, and yet I'm just sitting back, with my futures thinking I'm in good shape. It's not good shape.
It is a little strange. You made a futures bet, turned out to be completely right.
Yeah.
But then, why not bet into other related bets?
It's a problem I've always had. It's a problem I've always had. And it's a problem I've always had. And I got to say it out loud so that I stop it. Just because you're the future on the team doesn't mean you shouldn't be making money with them throughout the crucial part of the season.
You do have to be aware of a correlation so you don't wind up too exposed on something, but absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Disappointing. We want Justice TV in the house. A DC Capper Bookie Buster play of the day is the Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto Blue Jays against Ben Brown and the Chicago Cubs. I cannot wait to talk about that game.
I thought the Cubs might be the play there, but all right, okay.
This is going to be a fun card. Markel ready to go. Rob McMahon, thank you guys for joining us. Nasty Nate, daughter 16 today, double the age of Ella. We will get a birthday pick from the great Peter Loshak for that. AM on the over 9 to get the Seattle-Baltimore game started. Troy Torrance on Orioles, first 5, full game. Let's get to work, Peter Loshak. Let's get to work right now. We have Mariners, Orioles getting us started. Let me just get a swish back up here. We also have the daily stadium report from Ballpark Pal already here. So let's go. Baltimore, first 5 full game. Now I am a fan of Dean Kramer, and it's cost me money, Peter. It seems like when I'm not on him, he pitches spectacularly. Obviously, if I say Dean Kramer and pitching spectacularly, that means it was probably at home where he is today. 91 Fahrenheit feels like 95, 7.2 miles per hour out to right, dies down at 5.4 miles per hour. Josh Naylor, RBI, was the Stacks play of the day, number 1 here. Turnbuckle Tommy in the house with the Brewers on the run line. Says O's have been playing better ball at home. They have been. Still a game under 500 at home. Mariners are a game over 500 on the road. Let's get into the Camden yards here. We have plus 14% overall runs, plus 16% homers, plus 11% doubles and triples, and plus 3% singles. Let's get into the line history here, Pete, for our first of 15 baseball games on today's card. We have a Baltimore plus 148 right now. Oh, God, that's old. That's plus 153 now. Sorry, let me just refresh this so I can. That is very old. Plus 153 are the Orioles. This line is moving towards the Seattle Mariners. Plus 153, opened up at plus 132. A 21-cent move, which I'm assuming is in the market efficiency database from Troy Torrance, is saying that not to trust this line move in this situation. This total is a 9. It's minus 109 to the over. It's opened up minus 109 to the over. Moved to 9.5 after it was available for an hour and 12 minutes. It stayed at 9.5 until 8:18 this morning when it's come back to a 9. So we have no movement at all on this total. Let's take a look at the cash flow for game number 1 here. 54% of the tickets are on the Mariners. 55% of the cash is on the Orioles. And nothing's happening here. AM says Camden Yards, the 5th most offensive park on the season, 10 runs per game. Troy Torrance says fade the steam. O's first 5 money line and plus a half. Spooner says Kramer watching the show right now, trying to figure out Jimmy's pick so he can decide if he's going to deal tonight or not. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. 74% of the tickets are on the under and 60% of cash on the over. Let me ask you something quickly here that isn't just very, very quickly, Pete. We see all these tickets on the unders in every single game here on the board. It's the opposite of the Action Network. This is a Wager Talk board. It's a complete opposite. On the Action Network, every single 80, 90% of tickets on the over. On Wager Talk, it's every single game has tickets on the under. There is not, one game. Boston-Houston is the only game on this entire card with more tickets on the over than the under. We have been built with this belief that the public bets overs more than unders. Do you trust these numbers?
At this point in the the betting scenario, I don't know where they're getting their numbers from. There's certainly no accountability. You know what I mean? So the short answer is, no, I guess. Not really.
What do you think is more likely, the fact that Action is reporting that 80% on average are on the overs at least, or Wager Talk reporting that 80% of tickets are on the under?
Yeah, I really don't know where. I mean, public Action numbers, where they get them from is one thing that I really don't know that much about. How they come up with those numbers. It's certainly interesting. You can kind of tell where the sharp action is. Like the limit changes mean a lot more to me than public action. You know what I mean? So, limit changes and associated line moves and stuff like that. So I never paid that much attention to it, although I do think it's interesting. But as far as which numbers are more trustworthy, I really don't even know. Sorry, I just can't. Can't give an answer to that.
Important. We've got Action coming in fast and furious in the chat. Troy Torrance says catch Kirby in his worst split on the road and versus left-handed hitters. We're going to go over all these stats. TJ says Seattle with an advantage in all 3 aspects. I'm a Kramer fan, but 3 straight poor starts at of the two of them at home. Troy says, isn't this your spot? Fading a team off a 7-game winning streak, changing cities. It is. Troy says Mariners spent the whole month of August at home. So, Peter, let's talk about George Kirby here. 7-5, 4.04 ERA, 1.13 WHIP. His last start was good. 8-6 win at home over the White Sox. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, no homers, 9 Ks, and 2 walks. He has struggled on the road this year. We heard Spooner breaking down that he was pitching from a different arm angle this year. He also missed, all of spring with an injury. And on the road, we've seen it. 6 starts in 32 2/3. He's only allowed 28 hits, but 18 earned runs. His lefties are 259, 742 OPS against him. And when we take a look at this lineup for the Orioles, they have dangerous lefties. Holiday, Henderson, Rutschman will hit from the left side, and then Carlson and Allen are switch hitters, and they will decide, where to swing from. Dean Kramer, 4.35 ERA, 1.28 WHIP on the year. Last start at the Phillies, it wasn't very good. 6 innings, 4 earned runs, 6 Ks, and 1 walk at home this year. 9 games played. He started 8. He's allowed 18 earned runs in 56 innings. He's been quite good. 207 opponent's batting average. He's allowed just 43 hits in 56 innings. And lefties get to him harder than righties as well. Cal Raleigh, will probably hit from the left-hand side. Josh Naylor, a lefty. Polanco, a switch from the lefty. And then the bottom of the lineup, all being lefties. I find it very helpful when the splits are advantageous to the bottom of the lineup. I know that how does that really make sense? I trust the big bats to succeed at a higher level despite the splits not working in their favor. What helps is if it's working in the favor of the weaker bat so that there's runners on base and the lineup is more complete. Peter, Mariners versus righties last 30 days, 236, 757 OPS. Orioles versus righties, 235, 702. And the Mariners bullpen has turned it around in a big way. They are allowing 2.65 less runs over 9 innings than the Baltimore Orioles bullpen over the last month. There's Viper NB in the house. Troy Torrance says the Mariners are 0-3 straight up in this market. Take it away, Peter Loshak, Mariners Orioles.
Yeah, I'm surprised by the line movement. I was liking Baltimore and expecting to see a lower line here. I was also leaning under at 9.5, and now it's down to 9. So I was right about that one. And yeah, I definitely have Kirby as likely to be more vulnerable here. Some Baltimore hitter props: Henderson, Jackson. I'll probably make one of those official. Also, Kirby under 18.5 outs, even at minus 200, has some value according to what I'm looking at. But the substantial line movement in favor of Seattle makes me nervous. I would also be looking at some lefty hitter props, a few against Kramer, but the line just seemed too big to me, and I'm surprised that the move is what it's been.
It's a pretty massive move. So who has the advantage? Well, I mean, it's pretty easy to say this, but now it's not working in their favor for Kirby on the road. It's working in the favor of Kramer at home. Who has the advantage on the mound as a starting pitcher today?
In this one, I have it as about roughly even. I would still have Kirby tiny bit of an edge, but nothing substantial.
I think
it's just a big line,
And so do you think the reason why the Orioles are more expensive first 5 than they are full game has to do more with the bullpen of each team?
The Orioles are more expensive first 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I still think that there's a significant advantage for Kirby.
No, but the Orioles are more expensive. They are
okay. That surprises me as well. That does surprise me a little bit.
Do you think? But that has to do with the Mariners bullpen.
Yeah,
with their uptick, and I know a lot of it came at home, and the Orioles bullpen struggles throughout the year in the last 30 days.
I guess, and probably just like Kirby splits that aren't being, that some people consider to be, although I consider it to be very significant. Yeah, I mean, I expect Kirby to struggle here.
So if you expect him to struggle, would that lean you to Orioles first 5 plus a half, or would it lean you to an over bet?
Not an over bet. I would be liking Baltimore. Yeah, just full game and first five. The line move just makes me a little bit nervous.
TJ says it's only 5 cents more expensive, 3 to 6 at most books. Yeah, no, that's important to note. I mean, we see a ton of these games though, where 365 doesn't make them any different, and I'll look on, a sharp offshore and see a 9 or 10 cent difference. I'm curious to see what I would get right now here at this offshore, and the Mariners are 9 cents more expensive first five. Interesting. Wow, that's
so you see where are you seeing Mariners more expensive first five?
Offshore at the book we use for our line tracking.
Yeah.
But it is the Orioles that are more expensive on 365. Interesting. Well, I let's just do one final thing, and then I'll sit here and I'm interested in the Orioles. Obviously, the line move was massive, and it scared me off. The 7-game winning streak, switching cities fade, lost 6 in a row at one point this year. It's won its last one, but it was pretty surprising to watch it lose 6 in a row, and then I was on all of them. So that's part of the reason why I'm probably a little hesitant here, both the line move and the fact that this has been losing. If we go back to the last road starts, the last one was at the Angels on the 26th of July. He allowed 2 earned runs over 6 innings. It was a quality start. He had 9 Ks. Before that road start was against the Tigers. He allowed 4 earned runs in 5 innings. It wasn't a very good start. It took him 99 pitches to get through 5 innings in that one. And against the Angels, it took him 106 pitches to get through 6 innings. But he had the same issue against the White Sox in that last home start. He's not getting as much soft contact this year. I mean, that's the clear thing. He's not getting as many double play balls. He's not getting as much soft contact. But if we go back to the start before that Tigers started on the road, it was against the Twins. He shut them down. Before that, it was against the Cubs, and he got touched up. Coin says Seattle minus 140 opener looks better than the current number. Look, there's been a substantial move towards the Mariners. There's no way getting around it. I guess I will leave this with I have interest in the Orioles first 5 plus a half, and I have some interest in the Orioles full game. I do not want to double up on them at all. And I would like to see the market come back about 10 to 12 cents by the time the show ends. And that's how I see it. Is there anything that you are making official here for game 1, Peter?
Yeah, I'll definitely make a Gunnar Henderson hits, runs, and RBIs 1.5 minus 130. Shopping around right now. I'll take that one for sure.
All right, we have Loshak on the Gunnar prop. And you're not alone on this Gunnar prop. Turnbuckle Tommy says, be careful focusing too much on that line movement. I disagree, Turnbuckle Tommy. I think the important thing in your note, you say huge line movement last night to the Dodgers about an hour before the game, is I don't care what the public does an hour before the game. And an hour before the game, we see line moves to the favorite, in almost every single game, in almost every single sport. If one of the things that's our job is to tell people that we cap with what our action is so they have time to get in their action. We've heard from Peter already that he's making a lot of his decisions on sides and totals an hour before the game. So, Tommy, I don't care about the hour before line movement. We dealt with it as well yesterday, the late steam. Yesterday, we saw it because there was question marks. Why is the line not moving towards the Reds? Why is it not moving towards the Reds with a huge advantage on the mound? And then in the last hour, there was a 15-cent move towards the Reds. It doesn't matter. Now, Troy saying late steam seem to be ridiculously accurate this season, especially when it creates a U shape. And Turnbuckle Tommy says, how do you know the early line movement is sharp and the late movement is public? We don't know that for sure. Spooner says, you think public is moving the line before the game, not the people walking in with no limits and placing huge bets? I don't. I think it's just the majority. the majority. That's what it is. I think when they're getting action from both sides throughout the day, and then an hour before the said game, that the heavy majority of the action is always going to be on the favorite. Always. Now, we see some public road dogs, but I think that is a common theme throughout. Turnbuckle says, I think it's sharp movement right before the game. And I don't. And that's part of the fun, Tommy. That's part of the fun. We don't have to agree on it. And Turnbuckle says, remember, sharps sell their picks now. Turnbuckle, Tommy, that's not a now thing. And that's not, also necessarily a sharp thing. The tout business has always been hugely prevalent in this industry, and that hasn't changed. There are some channels like ours and others, like the Sauce Network, that's trying to change that storyline. All right, let's roll. Clark Edge in the house on Seattle money line and the -1.5 here. So let's roll. Gunner, what was the Gunner action for you here?
Just -130. Hits, runs, and RBIs 1.5.
Over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, -130. All right, let's roll. Let's roll. Thank you for the kind words, Beavis. And one more shout out to JR Swish blessing us. The $10 dono to get our card started here. Let's move on to game 2 here on the card. The Miami Marlins at Cleveland Guardians here. Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. I know a lot of cappers have been making a lot of money off of Jansen Junk. And I know that Jose's been very successful backing Jansen Junk. For whatever reason, when Jansen Junk is on the hill, the Marlins bats are heavy. But the Marlins are not hitting left-handed pitching at all. 189, 581 OPS. That's it. They're not hitting them. And the Guardians are playing well. I know that, they lose Clase and they lose Luis Ortiz from that bullpen, but that bullpen's pitching incredibly well. Slow Jams Arsenal is on the Miami money line here. We're at Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's go through the weather and set up the line history and move on to our next spot on the board. 87 Fahrenheit, feels like 93, 4.5 miles per hour in. And keep in mind here that it's only in for an hour. And now I know it's light, but as soon as an hour, like even half hour into the game, the wind's changing. Then we have 3.6 miles per hour to right, and then right to right center after that. Let's get into a Ballpark Pal's expectation here. Ballpark Pal has Progressive Field plus 15%. Oh, sorry, plus 8% overall. Plus 15% homers, plus 2% doubles and triples, and plus 2% singles. Jansen Junk's last start was a 6-4 win at home versus the Astros. He went 5 innings, allowed 5 hits, 300 runs, 2 Ks, 2 walks, and 1 homer. He looked dynamite to start the year, or to start his year, because he kind of came in late. And he is looking a little more vulnerable in his last few starts. Still great numbers, 3.97 ERA, 1.12 whip, just 8 walks over 70 1/3, 3 home runs allowed, just 3 home runs allowed. And he's only allowed 1 on the road over 36 1/3 innings, 39 hits, 14 earned runs. He's only walked 4 batters. He keeps everything around the plate. And I think that's what's come out. I think people are just starting to swing at everything against him because he's only allowed 1 home run. But opponents are hitting 281 against him. He's allowed more hits than innings pitched, but he's not walking any batters. Lefties are hitting 298, 748 against him. Let's take a look at the lineup here as to see who. Where is it here? The lineup. Let's take a look at the lineup and see who will be facing Jansen Junk from the left side. Kwan, Schneemann, Ramirez switch will hit from the left side, and Manzardo, and then Santana the switch. So you got 5 left-hand bats and 7 in total. That's a very appealing to me. Logan Allen, on the other hand, 7-9, 3.96 ERA, 1.37 whip. He allowed 1 earned run in his last start. He did walk 4 batters, but it was at the Mets in Citi Field. Not an easy lineup to pitch against. I know they're struggling right now. At home this year, he's had 12. He's pitched in 12 games, started 11, and he has not been very good for whatever reason. He's been better on the road. I think those will work themselves out. His splits are very even, and let's take a look at line history and hand it over right now to Peter Loshak. So line history-wise, we'll start with this total. This total here is a 9. It's -113 to the under. It opened up right there. It went to 8.5 after about an hour and 25 minutes, and it's been at 9, ever since. Ever since 1 this morning, it's been sitting at 9. So we have no movement at all on the total. And when we get to the money line here for this one, we have the Guardians at minus 124. They opened up at minus 135. The initial move was towards them. It got up to minus 142, and then there was a big move against them. Let's get to the cash flow here on this one, because I just please give me one reason to back the Marlins. I think I've got it. 62% of tickets are on the Marlins. I know a lot of cappers made a lot of money off of the Marlins over the last 2 months or so. 62% of the tickets, but just 38% of the cash. 75% of tickets on the under, 95% cash on the under. Peter Loshak, take it away, my friend.
Yeah, I didn't bet it, but my leans were definitely to Miami in the over, and it's moved in those directions right now. I also, kind of like Quan for Cleveland batter props. But yeah, it's at the line. I like Miami. I like the over at like 8.5. Slightly juiced to the over, but not anymore. I'm not sure if I'm going to pull the trigger on it though. And there's probably a Miami prop or two that's good as well.
Sorry, just replying to Nuke. Oh, I hope she hasn't dropped to 2-5. I need to get. Or sorry, 5-2. I need to get at least 3-1 on her. I'm excited to break that down. JR Swish says Marlins money line for me. Well, I really want to back the Guardians here. I really want to back this lineup, and the Marlins not hitting lefties, and Jansen Junk getting hit hard of late. But let's just make sure that is exactly the case here. So let's just go into Jansen Junk's. Well, look to his splits too and the game log here, because it could just be a vividness type thing that I'm dealing with Jansen Junk. I know Jose's been cashing on Jansen Junk every Junk start here.
Betting on him or against him?
On the Marlins. And look at that. Last start, they beat Houston 6-4. One before that, they beat New York 13-12. Before that, they beat Milwaukee 7-4. They lose to the Royals. Before that, when he was shoving, he shuts down the Orioles 6-0. But here we go. I've got all the stats right here. He's not made it past 5 innings in either of his last 4 starts. So we're talking about 20 innings. In those 20 innings, he's allowed 16 earned runs. Now, he's only allowed 2 home runs. I mean, they're not hitting him hard. There's our guy, Robert Cherry, our friend Robert Cherry, was in a car accident, Pete, and broke his nose, and it was a tough one. So he's in the chat, says he's healing up and doing better. Thinking about you, Robert Cherry. Thinking about you and your mom too, man. Hoping that you're healing up. Spooner says Marlins have taken money in most of their recent games. It's predictable at this point. Line will move 10 cents to them, and anything close to a coin flip. I guess the line would be at minus 125 last night. I want to move on the Guardians at this price. And TJ says the Miami bullpens crashed back to earth. I'm surprised more people aren't on Cleveland. Peter, what are you making official here? Because I don't see a way that well, let's just see what the price difference is. Guardians first 5. Everything from an X's and O's standpoint is leading me to the Guardians. And this line doesn't help at all.
Yeah, well, I will take Quan, hits, runs, and RBIs. Total bases at plus money is tempting, but I guess I'll just stick with 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs for Quan at minus 160. But you know, I had a slight lean to Miami. Now that it's moved a bit, not sure if I want to make that official. So I think I'll just stick with a Quan prop.
Marlins price difference, they're 5 cents cheaper over 365 first 5. And here on this offshore, they are 8 cents cheaper. What was it that made you want to move to the Marlins? What's the first thing that would jump into your head, or the first couple of things that were leading you in that direction?
Just basically the lines, you know, it was a little bit too big of a dog line based on what I look at. And, you know, Junk and Allen are both decent, you know, so, you know, expecting Allen to get hit a little bit here.
Even though the Marlins have not been hitting lefties at all in the last 30 days.
Yeah, I mean he's Allen is solid, but usually far from lights out. So one way or another, I expected I was thinking about Miami team total over, but didn't pull the trigger on that either.
I am surprised. I am surprised them looking here at Miami, team total over Miami, first three from Big Zo, team total over for Antoine, Miami for Slow Jams Arsenal, Marlins money line for JR Swish, Cactus Black on the over. I am surprised that this is all, one-way traffic really for Miami. Very surprised. Cactus Black says if Junk gets touched, maybe look at the Cleveland Indians team total over. Yeah, but I don't ever bet, almost never bet favorites team totals. I only seem to bet dog team totals. It's my own shit. But look, I'm very interested in the Guardians. Troy wanted the Guardians. I want the Guardians. And I'm not entirely sure the best way of betting it. I don't see I don't really see why I would be on the first five. I guess the reason why you would be on the first five instead of the full game is because there are pieces of this bullpen that are important. That pitch from the right-hand side, and the Marlins are hitting righties tough. But that's about it. I'm going to be on the Guardians in some form, whether that's a first five or a double result. And I will make those decisions here. Maybe stick. I'll make those decisions after the show. And Peter, you're focusing on Quan. Is there anything else?
Just going to take that for now. Yeah.
All right.
Although Xavier Edwards has been great, hasn't he?
Let's bring on our producer here on Loshak and the Bag. Coming to us from our home studio in San Antonio, Texas. It was the home of the Alamo Card Show, very successful Alamo Card Show this past week. Please welcome our friend, Mr. Jose Bouquet, to the show. Jose, how are you?
Jimmy, I'm doing well. Nice to see everyone in the chat. Nice to see you, Pete. You look dashing as always. Pete, you better meet up with our good friend Sean Higgs, that's also down there as well. So can't wait to see that.
No doubt about it, baby.
What hijinks are you getting into this week? I'm interested in your life over there, Pete, at Pet Bash.
Yeah, I mean, last night I went to a piano bar and I saw a gay guy and a chick singing.
Yeah, you already told this. I want news stories.
That's what I did. That's what I've been up to. And I wandered around.
News stories. I want something interesting.
I can't even remember. What did I do? Played a little blackjack with some free play chips. Nothing really interesting. Just wandered around.
Okay. All right. I'll choose to believe you this time.
God, I miss Vegas. I can just I can taste the Johnny Walker right now.
Well, it's getting with everyone not wanting to go to Vegas, it's going to get cheaper for us, lads. So
yeah, it is
convincing people not to go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care.
I agree. Everyone just don't go, guys. Don't go. Make it cheaper for all of us.
But honestly, with the way we gamble right now, I probably honestly would have a better time in San Antonio.
Oh, that's true.
Seriously,
with
like I don't,
our buddies.
But so I don't know. Troy saying you want to pay fees on your fees. You know, I agree with that. Like I don't. It's I don't know. But my parents met at the Hilton in Vegas. You know,
is that true?
Yeah, man.
Wow,
that's funny. That's where Pete's staying.
He won't tell us. He won't tell us. Must be fucking horrifying.
It's not circus, all right? I saw someone say that before, okay?
All right, let's roll on to our next spot here on the board. But, Jose, are you moving on your friend Jansen Junk?
I'm not. It would only be first five, so I wish you luck on the guards. I lean Miami Marlins first five here with my guy Junk, but the line first five really hasn't moved much either. To give me any confidence in this game. Market's pretty split. I lean Marlins and my guy Jansen Junk, but no bet for me. So I wish you luck, Jimmy.
God, man, the San Antonio trip and Troy getting up at 6 in the morning. We're both capping at 6 in the morning. We cap until we got to get to the studio. So at 9 in the morning, we each take giant shots of tequila and hit the road. I mean, that's fucking heaven. If okay, let's go.
We're only a few months away.
What about Mariners Orioles?
Nothing. So we're all caught up here. I saw that the line was moving towards the Orioles or towards the Mariners, and then everyone in the chat said bet the Orioles. So I'll just stay off and watch.
TJ says Circus was a shit in 94 when they had babysitting in the arcade. My parents would dump me there at like noon. I wouldn't see them again until 3 a.m. Circus was great then. We're close to this. I think I'm older than you, but I used to hit that with my sister all the time. You know, when she was 5, I'm 8. We'd spend all day there. Let's roll, fellas. Next up for us, 6:40 p.m. Eastern action. Philadelphia Phillies 69-49, 32-28 on the road. Cincinnati Reds 62-58, 33-27 at home. I'm wearing my Dr. Halladay jersey right now. Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. I wore this to Hastings. And I took a lot of heat for it. Why are you wearing a Halladay Blue Jays jersey? You know, I got that from like fucking bunch of people that I didn't speak to. Let's take a look at the weather here at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. We have 88 Fahrenheit. Feels like 94. 4.5 miles per hour right to left. Dies down to 3.6 miles per hour.
Apparently a big move to Baltimore, by the way, Jimmy. According to TJ. I haven't looked at it myself, but big move to Baltimore.
I like it.
So just give the heads up there.
I like it. If the market is going to help me get there, I'll have first 5 and full game. I just need the push, or I'll just only be on the first 5. Great American Ballpark just plus 9% today, plus 22% home runs, even doubles and triples, and minus 1% singles. AM has the under 9 at plus 105 in this one. We have Ranger Suarez going up against Brady Singer. Let's get into the line history here for this one. Line history wise, we have Singer and the Reds at plus 135. They opened up at plus 135. There was a move against them. So the Phillies opened up at minus 150. They went down to minus 139, and now they're back up to minus 146. So just basically a tightening of VIG, no real move at all. From a total perspective here, we have a 9.5. It's minus 111 to the under. This opened up at 9. It stayed there until it hit 9.5 at 9:22 this morning. And even at 9.5, since it moved there, it wasn't, we see some of the moves that we respect a lot. It's if the over 9's minus 117, they move it to 9.5 juice to the over. I mean, that's a massive move. Most of the time, the over 9 at minus 117 becomes an over 9.5 at plus 103, which is what happened here. And that plus 103 is now minus 102. So even at 9.5, we've had 5 cents of movement towards the over. We have Mr. Ranger Suarez on the bump. 8-5, 2.94 ERA, 1.15 WHIP. His last start, 6 1/3, 9 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 Ks, no walks. The 5-1 loss at home versus the Orioles. On the road, he has started 8 times and he's only allowed 9 earned runs. That's it. It's interesting, 4 home runs, but just 9 earned runs. Only 40 hits allowed and 54 2/3. The splits are incredible. Going up against Brady Singer, 9-9, 4.53 ERA, 1.35 WHIP. His last start was ugly, 7-0 loss at the Pirates. That was when he went up against Skeens, 3 2/3, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 homer, 2 Ks, 4 walks. At home this year, he's been quite a bit better than he's been on the road. 12 games he's started. He's only allowed 25 earned runs. He's only allowed 50 hits in 67 innings and a 211 opponent's batting average. Lefties are hitting 267, 816 against him. Righties 228, 654. So we'll take a quick look at who we expect him to be going up against here from the left-hand side. And it is Schwarber, Harper, Marsh, Kepler, and Stott. So it's a tough group of lefties that Singer will have to face here. Phillies versus righties last 30 days, 261, 820 OPS. Reds versus lefties, 215, 602, and both bullpens have been pretty good. Mr. Bouquet, Phillies, Reds, take it away.
Yeah, it's going to be another stay off for me. I was looking at the plays that I've written down that I wanted to talk about further and hopefully move on, and seemingly all of them were on the West Coast today. So it's going to be a few passes for me to start this card off. I mean, I'm invested in this game because I have Reds futures, but I wouldn't want to bet them here. The only thing I could bet was Phillies, so I ended up staying off this game. And you just mentioned it. I'll just echo it again. 57% of the bet, 61% of the money on the Phillies. I kind of lean that way, but the market's not moving, and I don't really want to be on that side, so it's just kind of a stay off.
Just before we hear Peter Loshak's take on the Phillies-Reds game, just my 2 cents in the house. The 100th episode of the Locker Room Talk podcast is going to be shot here in shortly, in about an hour and 5 minutes. And it's also moving to their new start time, and that is 6 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays. 6 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays. It's going to stay that way in perpetuity. And shout out to the 100th episode for our guys' Locker Room Talk podcast. What a hit. What a huge hit it's been. And they've put in so much work. They've earned everything. They've earned the fan base. They've earned the views. And, I've just, it's been fun watching you guys succeed the way you have. 100th episode of the Locker Room Talk podcast today. And it airs at 6 p.m. Eastern, which will be the new start time. Peter, Phillies, Reds.
This one is... this one is a little bit tough. Normally I'd be liking Cincinnati, but Philly is just very hard to bet against right now. Singer has a bit of a suspiciously low outs prop, which is making me scratch my head a little bit. It's like 15.5, juice big to the under. So I'm going to hold off on this one. Singer very up and down. And then Suarez, I need to do a deeper dive to figure out what happened in his last 2 starts where he got touched. He's been way better on the road. So going to have to pass on this one for now. Definitely need to look into it a little bit more. What's everyone else saying? I think Suarez is going to bounce back here. There
is discomfort in the chat, honestly. Coin saying, Suarez dominant on the road. He also said Cincinnati home unders continue to pay mortgages. Justin McKelvey has the Harper RBI at plus 112. Irish King not only is on Baltimore money line, but also Cincinnati money line. Ronnie Lofton's on the first 3 over 2.5. Says, I feel one of these pitchers gets touched early here. So there's not a real common theme in the chat. There is some concern. Let's talk about Suarez here. I think that the Singer pitches very well at home. This probably isn't the perfect lineup for him to go up against, but he's been pitching well at home. I think he's going to pitch okay. But you're right, Suarez is a problem. And look, I know what he's been doing, how good he's looked, but that was a pretty tough July, and it rolled into a pretty tough August. I mean, he was the best pitcher in baseball in June, arguably, but he was phenomenal. He allowed 6 earned runs in 41 2/3. Struck out 36, walked 7. Fast forward to June, and that was in June. Fast forward to July, and the All-Star break was in between here, but 21 2/3. He allows 28 hits, 11 earned runs. It's just not nearly, and he's not. It's funny. He's not allowing home runs. He has in his last 2 starts, but he didn't in July. He allowed 1 home run in July, but he was getting tagged in those starts. 4.57 ERA, and then fast forward to August. There's been no difference. 8 earned runs and 13 1/3. I think that the over does make sense. I think it does make sense. TJ said since he 182, 497 OPS versus Suarez. Yeah, I mean, he shut them down to start out July. I think that the over does make sense. I know what that the Reds and unders at home have been hitting, but I think it makes sense. And I kind of, it's interesting that the first 3 over 2.5 was the look here by Ronnie Lofton. I would want the first 5. I bet first 3s for unders. I want that full second time through the lineup. There's our guy, Big Show Picks, too. We just talked about the 100th episode, the Locker Room Talk podcast. Congratulations, Big Show. You've worked so hard on it, and you guys have earned all of that success. So I guess we move on, but I know it's going up against AM, but I like the over in this one, the first 5 over. And I think I get there. I'm going to take some more time on it, but I think I get there. And you guys are off of this spot at this point.
Yes,
I'm off.
We move on to Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. New York City. Let's take a look at the weather here in New York. It is 83 Fahrenheit. Feels like 85. 8.9 miles per hour right to left across the diamond. Dies down to 7.2 miles per hour. A ballpark pal. TJ says Cincinnati versus lefties doesn't bother you. 215, 602 OPS. It's not good, but is it possible that Suarez is dealing with some arm fatigue? I mean, he's 29 years old. Last year, he threw 150 and 2/3. Yeah. He's at 107. Is that possible? TJ says bottom 3 last 30 and 14 and full season. I think that Suarez just isn't dominating anymore. And if I think that Brady Singer is not in the most advantageous situation, I'm going to have interest in that first 5 over, despite the Reds' difficulty with lefties. I mean, is Suarez just going to become a monster again? I think the over 4.5 is capable of getting there. It's juiced. First 5 over 4.5. I'm going to keep working on it. AM says doesn't think this number moves for Minnesota, New York, and he is passing on this spot. We expect Robert Hatch to be pitching for the Minnesota Twins. Jose, do you expect to see Robert Hatch pitching, or is that
Thomas Hatch?
Oh, sorry, is that right? Yes, Thomas Hatch.
That's what Roto says, but I feel like if that was the case, it would be already, published or something. Yeah,
He's not had to start all season long. I don't know. I don't know why it would be published.
But another thing is that he's not had to start. I just think that if Roto would have known already, the books would know as well. But I think Roto is just guessing. But I just ultimately didn't know either. So I would assume as of right now it is, but I still am dubious that it might be.
That is fair. Of course, Thomas Hatch was a Blue Jay for a little while.
Oklahoma State Cowboy, too, when I was there.
Yes, he was. He was. And this year, we didn't get much of a sample. We haven't had much of a sample size here in the majors, so we have to go to college, amateur, minor, and Japanese stats to get an idea of what the hell Mr. Hatch has done this year. So let me get this up here. So we have Omaha AAA. That's where he spent this year. 18 starts. He went 91 and 2/3. Let me get this off here. 91 and 2/3 and 1.32 WHIP. He pitched well. 4.22 ERA. He pitched quite well. Last year he was in Japan pitching for Hiroshima. He had a great start with Hiroshima. In 15 starts, looked excellent, and then came back and did not deliver in 5 starts, and then came back here. It's last appearance, August 6th. He went 4 1/3, 2 hits, no one runs, 3 Ks, 1 walk, and a 9-4 win at the Tigers. He knows that this is his career on the line. AM says Twins have been a scrappy team. They have been very scrappy. They're hitting lefties hard right now. Hard to believe with this lineup. 262, 772 OPS last 30 days. The Yankees bullpen's been pitching a tiny bit better over the last little bit. They looked awful about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And they're not hitting righties at all. 206, 863 OPS. We have Carlos Rodon on the hill. 3-2 win at the Rangers in his last start. Made it through 5 innings, allowed 2 earned runs. He's been very good at home. 22 earned runs over 11 starts. He's only allowed 37 hits in 66 innings. It's very impressive. 12 of those 37 hits have gone yard, but opponents only hitting 160 against him. His splits are very, very good. Let's take a look at the line history and then hand this over to Jose. We have this total at 9, minus 111 to the over. This opened up, it's now minus 112 to the over. It's only been moving 1 cent back and forth. So as I am expecting, there's not been a lot of movement on this total. And then on the money line, the Yankees are minus 224. They opened up at minus 238. So we had 14 cents of movement away from the Yankees. The Twins right now are plus 197 after opening up plus 209, a 12-cent move towards them. Jose Bouquet, take it away.
Yeah, a game that I just didn't have much to cap off of with no starting pitcher or whatever, maybe assumed. He has pitched well, though. 4 1/3, 2 hits, no earned runs, like you mentioned, on the 6th against the Tigers, at the Tigers. But it's just not a game I put any action on here. And I just didn't have any lines, so I stayed off.
What do you think, Pete?
Yeah, I'm doing a whole bunch of capping while we're doing. Rodon, very mediocre since the break, and I think that's probably fundamental, right? Is there any reason to think that that's not the case? Expecting a bounce here?
He's just, this guy emotes like crazy on the mound. He's fucking bananas, man. I want to fade. It'd be a nightmare to have like a big bet on him and watching him screaming and yelling, screaming into his glove, and you're like, what have I done? This fucking maniac. So I kind of, what I want to do, Peter, is, and I know this maybe doesn't make sense with my intros, I like backing Rodon in extremely important situations. I still hate when he emotes, but here against, a AAA lineup, now it is at home. He cares very much about pitching in the Bronx, but I kind of look to I would love to be able to get on a first 3 plus a half. I don't know if I can get there, but I would sure like that right now. And you're getting a great line on that first 3 plus a half. I do think it's going to be Hatch, so right. I guess I have interest in the first 3 plus a half on the Twins.
Because Hatch is okay, right?
Look, Hatch has this final chance to be a major league pitcher right now.
Yeah.
And I don't want to romanticize baseball too much because that costs, it'll cost you money. But I kind of like him pitching okay here. TJ says fade Rodon in day games, back him in night games. He has to be in routine. It's been like that for years now. So shout out to our guy AOD in the house. Deacon Mike says doesn't look like Boone will make it through the season as a manager. Peter, Jose, anything for you guys in this one?
I guarantee you Deacon doesn't get fired. That's all for me.
Spooner said, I don't think Hatch shows the first pitch for the Twins, just more pitches than anyone else on the team today. All right, well, I do have some interest in the Twins' first 3 plus a half. I'm not sure, though, if I get there. But the Twins are hitting lefties hard.
Yeah.
They're hitting lefties hard, and I wouldn't be surprised if Carlos Rodon sort of underestimates this group, ragtag journeyman.
All right, I'm going to have to add Buxton hits, runs, and RBIs just minus 125. I can probably shop around and get a better one.
Well, Justin McKelvey's already put that. He's got that at 100 plus 100 in his pocket. So yeah, you are in good company there. All right, let's roll on to a big game. 7:07 p.m. Eastern with the Chicago Cubs 67-50, 31-28 on the road. Toronto Blue Jays 69-50, 38-19 at home. We're at the Rogers Center in Toronto, Ontario. I mean, this is going to be just like the Yankee series. It's going to be absolutely jammed. No seat available in the stadium. 84 Fahrenheit, feels like 88. Warm and beautiful. 8 miles per hour out to right field. We get into Ballpark Pals expectations here of Skydome, let's call it that. Plus
By
9.
the way, sorry, hate to interrupt, but Stanton's going to be playing right field today for the Yankees. First time playing defense since 2023. So should be interesting.
Wow. I hope he gets a ball hit to him in the first 3 innings.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Wow. Jake Burns says Blue Jays team total over. I will never put anything on Ben Brown ever again. Troy Torrance says database says over. AM on the over 9 here. There's no chance of rain. I mean, like, it's not raining at all here. Like, our grass is brown. There's no there might be a tiny bit of rain around 6 a.m. So it's not going to be too sunny too. Like it's just the conditions are absolutely perfect. Noel said that Stanton already played right field a couple days ago. Troy Torrance says Cubs team total over and first 5 over 5. All right, so let's roll here. We have Ben Brown, as we talked about. Let's just go over this. What did they say about Rogers? Sorry, they said Rogers was plus 9%, plus 11% homers, plus 18% doubles and triples, and minus 6% singles. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have the Toronto Blue Jays minus 117. They opened up minus 120. No movement here. Plus 109 still for the Cubs. That's what they opened at. And from a total perspective here, we have a 9. It's minus 108 to the under. Under 9 minus 108. Opened up at plus 102, so we've had 10 cents of movement on the under. Ben Brown coming out of a 3-2 loss at home versus the Reds. He went 4 innings, allowed 1 earned run, 5 Ks. Didn't walk a batter. Yeah, his numbers are bad, especially on the road. This year he's got a overall 6.04 ERA, 1.44 WHIP. Does have 104 strikeouts over 92 and a third. He only walked 27 batters. I mean, there are good things going on with him. It's just not quite enough of them. Dad Fan says, this is the one I love the most. Jays don't cost much, but will cruise tonight. Over 9-2 because Jays will score 10 or more. Wow, Spooner sees rain on AccuWeather first pitch. I have here the 6 millimeters expected in the next 24 hours because of what's going to happen at 6 a.m.
And by the way, I misspoke. It's his first time playing in back-to-back defensive games, or back-to-back defense in games. I should say playing defense in back-to-back games. There we go.
God, really? I mean, I've got no sign of it here on my phone. This is important, but they're not going to keep. Yeah, it's a heat warning. The hourly forecast. Oh yeah, look at that. There could be a possibility of a thunderstorm. Wow, that is very, very interesting. So I don't have that on mine. So I have 0.1 millimeters at 6 p.m. and a possibility of 0.1 millimeters at 4 p.m. I think this roof is open, and people would be pissed if it isn't. DC Capper Bookie Buster play of the day is the Toronto Blue Jays here. So Ben Brown against lefties, they're destroying them. 291, 899 OPS. And look at what the Jays are doing to right-handed pitching. They're hitting 324 with a 922 OPS. They're absolutely raking right now. The Cubbies are only hitting 235 with a 698 OPS. Jose Barrios hasn't been pitching that well of late. He's been pitching much better on the road than he is at home. He's had 31 earned runs and 11 home starts. I know he got crushed on opening day, but it's and then both bullpens have been really struggling. The Jays bullpen is really struggling, and it's being masked by this incredible offense. Troy says the Blue Jays look so easy to back here. You have to ask yourself, should a team that's 19 games over 500 against a team that's 19 games over 500 at home, against a team that's 3 games over 500 on the road, when you have a huge pitching advantage statistically, why would the Jays not be a bigger favorite than this? And if you think that it doesn't matter, I'm betting the better team, then, I get it. Springer, we haven't even seen him. I believe he hasn't even had a rehab. We've been waiting for him to have a rehab game. He's supposed to be back, but I don't even know if he's played for Buffalo yet. We'd have to see. There's Mikey Money in the house. What up, Mikey Money? Great to see you, man. So let's just talk about the cash and hand it over to Jose. Cash flow here for this one. We have 57% of the tickets on the Cubs and 60% of the cash. 59% of tickets on the under and 85% of cash on the under. And Timmy Tushu saying he can't get cleared to even warm up in Buffalo at this point. Turnbuckle Tommy says maybe the Cubs still ranked number 2 against right-handed pitching over the last 30 days. They are bottom 5 in the league against right-handed pitching last 30 days. This is the numbers the last 30 days, Tommy, unless I've done something horribly wrong with my writing outside. And I'll double check, but they've been horrific. Jose Bouquet, take it away.
Yeah, I'm updating my splits to just cut it down to just this month here real quick as well. Chicago Cubs, 80 weighted runs created plus against righties this month. Toronto Blue Jays are first, 178 weighted runs created plus, which it's tough to fade that. But the line going towards the Jays here, towards the Cubs is interesting. Penny opened this up at -120, so it really hasn't moved much there. But BOL -130 to -121. So I'm staying off this game. You guys know, if you guys watch this program, that I think the Cubs are frauds. But the Brewers kind of have put them in their place, I guess, because of how well they've been playing. And again, shout out to you and your futures, Jimmy, because that was a great eye by you, because I didn't think the Brewers were going to be great this year coming into the season. And you said immediately that they were your future squad. So shout out to you. But I've stayed off the game, though. I think that this is a Cubs spot, personally, shockingly enough.
Interesting from our guy Mikey Money. Says in game ones, the team that lost by 1 versus the team that won by 1 are 47-27. So he says bet the Cubs. Peter Loshak, take it away.
I have a bit of a hard time reading Barrios, but then whenever I ask you and other people about him, I tend to get a much better read on him. At the line, I was thinking Cubs. The Cubs, obviously, when you say they're frauds, that means that maybe they're not awesome, but they're still pretty good, right?
Who called them? Oh, Jose called them frauds. Yeah, Jose can back that up.
Yeah, no, I don't think they will go far in the playoffs. Like, they've got such a lead now in the wild card that I think they can't blow that such of a big lead, but it's a team that I'll be fading going into the playoffs.
I mean, I know Brown, overall he hasn't been good, but his last 2 starts were okay, and then Barrios hasn't been great for a while now.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
This line to me is screaming, bet the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
Screaming. And it's hard to listen to it. Honestly, it's hard to listen to it. The Jays should be a much bigger favorite. Not much bigger. Sorry, the Jays should be 20 cents more of a favorite. This should be -140 to +120. So the fact that they aren't means they're opening up their arms to Cubs money. Now I don't have proof of that here, because we're looking at the cash flow, and we're sitting here with what do we have? 57% of the tickets, 60% cash on the Cubs. So I don't have any proof of that. I don't think, the great thing about baseball is 117 games in. If you're 17 games over 500, you're not a fraud. You may be moving in the wrong direction, but this is a tough sport, playing every single day over and over and over again. I don't know. I don't know if I have the balls to get there, but that's what I'm going to write down right now.
I mean, what's your take on Barrios, Jimmy the Bag? He's, pretty vulnerable, right? Right now.
I thought that he was vulnerable in Colorado.
Right.
I think that he's not. He's doing everything we've asked. I'm very hesitant to say anything really negative about him, because he's eating up innings. He's doing everything that we ask of him. Everybody loves him, but going through his game log, I wonder if at this point in the year he's dealing with a little bit of fatigue. I mean, he's been pitching. He's made it through 6 innings twice in the last 7 starts. The problem is that he hasn't made it to 5. He's only made it to 5 innings in 3 of his last 7 starts. No, sorry, 4 of his last 7 starts. So he had a 4 1/3, a 3, and a 4 1/3. I mean, he got off to the terrible start, that first game of the year. Then he looked excellent in April. In May, he was good. In June, he was the best pitcher on the Jays. He was incredible. 32 innings. He allowed 7 earned runs. He was just rolling. He allowed just 23 hits in 32 innings. But in July and August, he's been getting hit hard. In July, he allowed 19 earned runs and 29 1/3, 7 home runs. And then he didn't start August with a great performance. What is the player prop on Barrios right now for outs?
For outs, let's see. I would assume I'm going to guess 16.5, a little juice to the over, and it is there. 16.5 even on both sides.
Yeah, I think that I think the Cubs are live here. I really do. And I'm surprised to say that. I'm going to like this market just to marinate as much as possible here. But if we're done this show, and it's, if I'm sitting here at 4:30, and and I can get the Toronto Blue Jays at home at -118, well, I'm going to bet the Chicago Cubs. So I'll see how it bangs out, but that's my expectation at this point.
All right, I'm going to take Bush, Tucker, and Suzuki. 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, all small favorites. So I think 2 of them will hit. I'm going to take those.
Bush, Tucker,
and Suzuki.
Here. And Pete coming off a strong day here last Tuesday. We need you to get hot, Pete. We believe in you, my friend.
I know.
Jose, anything for you here?
Nothing for me. Good luck.
Let's roll. So those are all over 1.5s on Bush, Tucker, and okay. All right. Ron Lofton took Cubs first 5. Let's just do that final thing here then. And we'll move on to the final thing. So we know that the Jays have an advantage as a starting pitcher statistically through the numbers that have been provided from them throughout the entire season. So the Jays are -125 at Bet365, which have a ton of Canadian, players. And then first 5, they are -115. The books are telling us that Brios is the vulnerable one here, which is crazy to say. But right now, the Cubs' first 5 are 20. Was that 20 cents? No, 10 cents. Sorry, 10 cents. So the Cubs full game are +105, first 5 -105. All right, let's roll on.
That's what I was leaning as well. And Exhibit A for this is Washington KC yesterday when they were, big, huge, much more expensive first 5. You think Ben Brown will be all right here, Jim? Because I don't like the spot for Toronto.
I mean, that is the $1 million question here, Pete. I mean,
all right, I'm just going to stick with what. Yeah, let's move on. I'm just going to stick with what I'm going to do.
Okay, well, but this is leaning me towards a Cubs first 5 bet. I still fear that, but I mean, the Jays bullpen's been so bad. I'll have to make a decision around here, but I am certainly leaning towards the Cubs. Let's. Deacon Mike says, Jimmy, the difference is Brios will be facing an offense that resembles a single A team lately. They're not hitting. There's no doubt about it. All right, let's roll. Wager Detective in the house. Great to see you. Next up for us, 7:10 p.m. Eastern, we have the Atlanta Braves, 51-67, 21-37 on the road to the New York Mets, 63-55, 38-21 at home at Citi Field in Queens, New York. Let's get into the weather in Queens. 82 Fahrenheit, feels like 84, 9.8 miles per hour out to left center, dies down at 8 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history. Oh, sorry, let's get the Ballpark Pal. Ballpark Pal here for Citi Field is as you would expect here. Actually, you'd think Oracle would be right there, but this is the worst stadium for weather conditions. -10% overall, +7% home runs, -10% doubles and triples, and -15% singles. We get into the line history here. We have these New York Mets at -137. They opened up at -127, so a 10-cent move towards the New York Mets. From a total standpoint here, we have an 8. It's -111 to the over. This opened up at 8, and then it moved up to 8.5. It moved to 8.5 at 1 in the morning. It was a really legitimate move to 8.5 too. It moved from 8 to 8.5, and when it moved up to 8.5, it was juiced to the over. So it was very, very legitimate. But now we're back down. Overall, we've had a 1 cent move to the under, or basically just like a tightening of VIG. So a 10-cent move towards the New York Mets, and then this move towards the under. We get to the cash flow for this one. We have 56% of tickets and 78% of cash on the New York Mets, and the 10-cent move has followed them. You have 67% of tickets and 88% of cash on the under. We have AM on the over here. Spooner says Ben Brown had 2 pitches. Jays are first and second in the league against those 2 pitches in the last 30 days. There it is from Morgan Spooner right there. Joseph Gomez says Donnie, the legend, right side is on the Braves money line, and Spencer Strider. Strider 5-9, 4.04 ERA, 1.30 WHIP, 98 strikeouts over 82 and a third. He got lit up at home versus the Brewers that last start. Lucky it wasn't worse for him. 11 hits in 4 2/3, 2 homers, 5 earned runs. On the road, he started 7 games. He's allowed 18 earned runs. Walking 18 batters. So his K to walk ratio on the road 42 and 18. If you compare that to what it is at home, it's 56 and 15. He's just not pitching nearly as well. And lefties 237, 775, righties 245, 731. He is getting touched here. Clay Holmes 3.46 ERA, 1.30 WHIP, coming off a 3-2 loss at home versus Guardians. He went 5 innings, allowed 2 earned runs. At home, he's had 11 starts and 61 2/3. He's been really good. He's allowed 24 earned runs, just 44 hits. Now 8 of them are home runs. His K to walk ratio is not very good, but that's been a problem all year. He gets outs. Mets versus righties last 30 days, just 231, 704. Braves 239, 737. Mets bullpen is pitching well. Robert Franklin is on these New York Mets. Jason Meyer, the El Dorado custodian, leading to the Mets -1.5. We have Ryan saying that Ben Brown is capable of a good game in that Jays Cubbies spot. Jose Bouquet, take it away for us here. Braves Mets.
Yeah, again, I hate having to just pass all of these games, but I'm not on this game either yet. I leaned Braves early with Donnie. Shout out to him. Pete, I'm sure you'll see him later in this week. But a 10-cent move to the Mets, will keep me off. Mets not playing good ball either. I don't really trust the Braves, so I stayed off this game.
Peter Loshak, Mets hosting the Braves.
This is the single most confusing game to me on the entire card. I declare that right now. I don't know. I don't really like Strider at the moment. But the Mets, what in the hell is going on with the Mets? Anyone?
It's fucking Finkel Einhorn, man. They can't handle the fucking pressure.
What in the... who's on this fucking team? Are they that bad? Lindor, Soto, Alonso, they're all great. Aren't they?
Look,
what in the hell's going on with this team?
AM says returning home could be good for these New York Mets. Losers of 7 straight, 1 win in their last 9 games. Now, looking at it, it was just that sweep in Milwaukee hurt them, but they were swept at home before that. They got swept by the Guardians. This is just the team losing and losing and losing. But it's funny because they swept the Giants, early last month, and it looked like, okay, this team could go on a roll. And then that was the exact opposite. It's just fucking the land of the L's. But I'm
an inch away from taking the Mets here. But I'll probably wind up doing it. We'll see.
I think that we know what Clay Holmes is going to do, and that's just pretty mediocre, like a pedestrian, right. Good to pedestrian effort, which is could be enough to get you a win. The question is, what are we going to get from Spencer Strider right now? I don't. He is not. He's not got a 16th out in last 3 starts. He's in his last 3 starts. Strider in 14 2/3 has allowed 23 hits and 10 earned runs and 4 home runs and walked 6 batters. Is Strider dealing with the disappointment of, coming to the ballpark for a losing team every day? Is that what's affecting him? No. Nate Cernan says Braves feel like they're still alive for the pennant. The Braves are 16 games under 500.
They're done.
Ain't nothing happening there. Sunny Spring says Mets team will be all in this first game back home and playing desperate ball. I would like a reason. Peter, my walking to a fucking trap wanting to fade Strider He certainly is capable of pitching dynamite.
Yeah, I mean, they should be, they should be pretty good against a relatively vulnerable righty. And then you got Clay Holmes on the other side, who seems pretty reliable. The Braves are no great shakes. But, I mean, I don't know. Donnie Wright's side, he's a legend. There's another legend I know that likes the Braves also. I don't like to fade the legend Donnie Wright's side, but I would. But if there's a second one liking the dog, I can't do it. I can't do it, Jim.
I would need... I agree with Troy.
What does Troy say?
If this closes above minus 145, it's Mets. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with it. I don't like... I also kind of do see the changing cities spot here. I don't know. I'm going to need more time, but I don't know. I wouldn't expect many people to be backing the Mets in this type of situation. And, at this point, if these numbers are to be trusted, 57% of the tickets and 80% of cash is on the Mets. We've seen a 10-cent move towards the Mets. I think if it keeps going, and I will be on the New York Mets here. You can be down a run or two to the Braves after 5 and still beat them. Their bullpen's in shambles, and the Mets bullpen's starting to pitch a little better. I mean, the question is, at what price do you try to catch a falling knife? And maybe the answer is you shouldn't ever. And if that's the answer, then we shouldn't bet this game. So I'm going to take a little bit more time. Nothing official for you two gentlemen?
Nothing for me.
Guess I'll hold off. Jeez.
We move on. 7:40 p.m. Eastern. The Detroit Tigers 69-51, 30-27 on the road at the Chicago White Sox 43-76, 25-35 at home. We're at Wright Field in Chicago, Illinois. Take a look at the weather here in Chicago. We have, here we go. We have, possible light rain throughout the game. Is this one of the games that could be? No, they have Colorado, St. Louis with the weather delay. I've got rain throughout. Not the main precipitation is about an hour into the game, so the weather is going to do some damage. Not entirely sure how much it will inflict, but it will do some damage. We have Wright Field plus 13%, plus 37% home runs, minus 5% doubles and triples, and minus 1% singles. By the way, TJ says that's my philosophy. Don't catch a falling knife. Wait till they prove something. Might be incorrect logic. I don't think it's incorrect logic. I think that's right when it comes down to it. But I'll sleep better knowing I passed on the Mets and they won rather than betting on a loser. It's very fair. Very fair. Oh, my gosh.
What happened?
Look who is in the chat, Pete.
Jesus. Who could it be?
Native Queen.
Oh, no way. Oh, my gosh.
Wow. We have missed you. The great Native Queen in the house. Wow. That's wonderful to see you. I hope all is well. You are one of the greatest, right? It's got to be one of the greatest we've ever seen. Wonderful to see you back in business. Hope all is well for you.
I think that's Nathan Cerna, Jim. I don't think it's Nathan. Is that Nathan Cerna?
No, it's Nikki Larkins.
Native Queen. Where's Native Queen?
Nikki Larkins. Look at Jose put it up on the there. We're right there. Look on the screen. Just look on
shout out Nikki Larkins. Hell yeah. All right. Okay, good.
That's a good omen. That is a good omen for us. Native Queen back.
That's a great omen.
Yeah. OG low bagger. Especially with you in Vegas.
That's a great omen. And then I was like, oh, it's Nathan Cerna. He's not. Not that Nathan Cerna isn't a good omen too, but but I had to keep it real with you, Jim, and not let you continue. So I told you. But great. Shout out Native Queen. Great to see you in the comment section.
Jake Burns says, haven't seen Kyle Hintley in the chat forever. Kyle will be back when hockey's back and football and that. But I hear you. Respect, Native Queen. Wonderful to have you joining us today. We have Jack Flaherty going up against. Now I expect Mike Vassell to be pitching here. Is that just what I'm just taking what RotoWire has? Is there any backing to that?
I haven't heard. I'll look on Twitter right now.
If it is Vassell, he's being quite good. He has made 3 starts this year. I know he won't. It's just an opener type of a situation, but he's been really good, really trustworthy. The issue with him is he walks too many batters, and you don't want someone out of the bullpen to walk batters, but it's just, he doesn't allow barrels. He gets outs, but his K to walk ratio is a problem. It's a real problem. Nasty Nate says, I miss Red Girl. So do I. I'll reach out, get Red Girl back and rocking with us. Last appearance was August 8th for Vassell. 3 2/3, 2 hits, 3 Ks, 3 walks, 9.5 loss at home. At home this year, 200 opponents batting average. Now, Vassell's allowed 4 of his 5 home runs at home, but just 12 earned runs over 49 2/3, just 35 hits allowed in 49 2/3. Lefties hitting 205 with a 635 OPS. Righties 189 with a 606 OPS. Tigers versus righties last 30 days, 244, just 712 OPS. White Sox hitting them harder, 249, 756. And the White Sox have an enormous bullpen advantage. Who would have thought we would ever say that when Detroit, Chicago would be going up against each other? Let's take a look at the line history. Here we have an 8.5. It's minus 109 to the over. It's a very slight move towards the under. Open up at minus 103. It's now at minus 105. I know we haven't talked about Jack Flaherty. Obviously, my mind is on the White Sox, so let's get into Flaherty after I give you guys the money line here. We have the White Sox at plus 155. That's exactly where they open up plus 156. And when we get to the cash flow for this spot, we have no information at all. The same with that Minnesota Yankees game, of course, no information at all. So, Flaherty, 6-11, 4.56 ERA, 1.28 whip, just got crushed in a 9-4 loss at home versus the Twins. On the road, he's allowed 31 earned runs in 10 starts, opponents hitting 263 against him. The splits are okay. Lefties hit him harder than righties. Take it away for us, Mr. Bouquet. Tigers, White Sox.
Yep, another stay off game for me. What price do you see the Tigers at? Like minus 250?
No, minus 173.
Jesus. Okay, minus 173, way off there. I'll just stay off this game. Jack Flaherty is someone that I'm still kind of dubious on, so I'd be leaning White Sox or nothing here, just based off that horrible guess I just had at a minus 250.
Mr. Loshak, what are your thoughts?
Well, this one I didn't look into too deeply because of the White Sox. I got nothing on it as of right now. Is Flaherty going to bounce back here?
I don't see why it would. It's not like going in front of an empty stadium is your spot to bounce back. It's not. I think he is vulnerable. TJ says, so got it. I picked up Milwaukee minus 111 this morning. If you watch the WT board, check it out in a couple minutes. So I don't see why Flaherty would pitch well here. I think that the White Sox have to be played. They're much more expensive first 5, and that's with not even knowing exactly who we're going to get on the mound. That's how. But it's strange because Flaherty had those 2 really strong starts. He goes 6 innings, doesn't allow a run at home versus the Jays, goes into Philadelphia and shuts them down. I guess generally speaking, the market will kind of indicate whether he's vulnerable, and we're not really. I mean, because this total where it is could be because the White Sox bullpen's being lights out. Why would it be any different here? That's why we're dealing with an 8.5. It is juiced to the over, but yeah, I mean, I'm interested in the White Sox. I need time here, but I'm
mean, it's such a ridiculous line, right?
What do you think it should be? I don't think minus 250. I mean, yes, the Tigers are 3 games over 500. White Sox are only on the road. White Sox are only 10 games under 500 at home. I think this is the way the line should be.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm going to pass.
All right, I have interest in the White Sox. Let's roll on. Here is the other giant game in Major League Baseball. We have Mr. Paul Skeens going up against the runaway train that is the Milwaukee Brewers.
Choo-choo.
Pirates 51-69, 17-40 on the road. At the Brewers 74-44, 40-20 at home. I'm 10 games away from hitting that season win total over. And then, the division after that, it's going to be nice, but it doesn't pay that much. It's the next round of betting that's going to hold all the glory if we can get there. Justin McCelvy, Brewers, a team total over 3.5 at plus 108 in his pocket. TJ says a rookie starter in the playoffs will get eaten alive. God, I cannot wait for this. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we have Skeens versus Freddie Peralta here. Skeens 7-8, 1.94 ERA, 0.93 WHIP, 162 strikeouts over 144 innings. He had the bad start in Colorado. I thought that it kind of humbled him and that he was going to come back and shove against the Reds. He did exactly that. There was a big double play he got in the first inning, and that calmed everything down, and he just shut them down. Didn't walk a batter, struck out 8, did allow 7 hits, but nothing too dangerous for him. On the road this year, he's had 13 starts, he allowed 18 earned runs. He's allowed 2 home runs and 75 in the third, just 53 hits. I mean, he's just, nothing new needs to be said about him. AM says he's on the over 7, says fastball Freddie might still be vulnerable. He's coming off a nice start at the Braves, 7-2 victory, 5 innings, allowed just a solo shot, did walk 3 batters, 3.03 ERA, 1.14 WHIP. I'm sure he's excited about going up against Skeens. 12 starts at home this year. He's only allowed 16 earned runs, 5 home runs and 67 2/3. Splits are excellent. Pirates are not hitting righties, 248, 681 OPS. Brewers versus righties, 286, 819 OPS. And the Brewers bullpen, 3.22 ERA last 30 days, while the Pirates is a 5.03. We get into the line history here for this one. God, it's going to be fun. We have a 6.5. 6.5 minus 110 to the over. This opened up at 7 minus 111 to the under. Now we have a 6.5 minus 110 to the over. Wow. And then on the money line, we have the Brew Crew right now at minus 128. They opened up minus 116, and the initial move was towards the Pirates. At 134 this morning, the Pirates were big favorites. And it got bigger at 138. They were minus 112, while the Brewers were plus 102. Plus 102. And now we have minus 128. Overall, 12-cent move towards the Brewers, but a 30-cent move since that low water mark in this U-shaped environment. And when we take a look at the cash flow for this one, we have the Peralta and the Brewers with 58% of the tickets, but 57% of the cash on the Pirates, 93% of tickets on the under, 91% cash on the under. Here we go, Mr. Bouquet. Take it away.
Yeah, what a fascinating game this is going to be. And typically, you guys know me, I would be fading Paul Skeens here. But again, this is just kind of like my head and the market going up against each other today. You got a pretty split ticket count, too. Money on both sides. The line open up like you just mentioned. I'm seeing a penny minus 116. Now we're up to minus 128. So yeah, I do think the Brewers are live to win this game. Well, not live, but I think the Brewers do win this game. But it's just fascinating. I haven't moved on this game. Wanted to hear everyone's thoughts, but just maybe a little hesitant today when it comes to these early games. I don't know. Like I said, the later games I was more interested in, but my first thought was obviously Brewers here, especially at home, just rolling. So want to hear everyone else's thoughts, but what do you think, Pete?
I was thinking Milwaukee. Skeens obviously isn't going to go that deep. I mean, he might, but not likely to. Peralta can probably match him a little bit, and at the very low line, I was liking Milwaukee when it was like 115 or so. Then there was the move to Pittsburgh, and now big move back to Milwaukee. I like Milwaukee here, I guess.
The first 3 totals 1.5 minus 120 each way. That's the lowest I've seen all season. Yeah. Irish King says, run it back, Milwaukee. Those of you that have been doing it, you guys will make as much or more money than I will with my futures. I mean, it's embarrassing that I've let this go. I even thought about this right after the All-Star break when I was in Vancouver. I bet them against the Dodgers, and I was like, if they get on this run, they should just be bet every day. And look, I have done nothing of that sort. Justin,
what about just like waiting until Skeens is out and then live betting them? Is that like too obvious?
No, I mean, I think that it makes a lot of sense. It's amazing that, dealing with the pitching injuries, it's just not affecting them at all. They just keep rolling. I don't know what to do. I feel like the whole late to the party, early to the funeral situation here with the Brewers on this enormous winning streak, winners of 10 straight, and yet they're going up against the best pitcher in baseball. So, Dave McKenna says Stu Feiner, Division Road Dog of the Year. Pirates. Coin saying Pirates first 5 minus 120 more appealing than Pittsburgh money line at plus 113. Yeah, I think that's fair. The price difference here for the Pirates full game and first 5 at 365 is the Pirates are plus 110 full game, and then first 5 they're minus 115, 25 cents. 25 cents. Yeah, I'm going to sit with this longer. I can understand. I feel like I'm defeatist, talking about the Brewers when I'm sitting here with only futures on this baseball team, and I still feel like I've screwed it up. So, you guys making anything official here?
Nothing for me.
All right,
it's just a divisional dog. That's a Stu Feiner Divisional Dog of the Year. Oh, God, I want to take the Brewers, but I just can't. Can't do it.
Timmy Tushu thinks it's going to be a very low-scoring game. Jake Burns on the Nerfy, Pirates first 5 and Brewers full game. That's a fun SGP there. All right, let's roll. Next up for us, 7:40 p.m. Eastern, Washington Nationals 47-71, 25-35 on the road at the Kansas City Royals, 59-60, 29-28 at home. We're at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Thank you, Justin. Well, look, I'm. It's just when it's all said and done, I could be extremely happy, but we got a ways to go here. And I know they have the best record in the league, but nobody's calling them the best team in the league. So there's a long way to go. But here we have Nationals Royals. Let's get into the weather in Kauffman Stadium and see how much will Mitchell Parker be sweating here. Oh, flop sweat Parker. We have him here, 84 Fahrenheit. Feels like 88. That's his tits will be sloppy. 4.5 miles per hour left to right. Dies down at 2.7 miles per hour. Let's get into the Ballpark Pals expectation of Kauffman Stadium. We have plus 6% overall, minus 14% homers, plus 12% doubles and triples, and plus 9% singles. We have line history wise here. Sorry. What the hell's wrong with me? Get this up here. Line history wise, we have the Kansas City Royals Nationals total at 9. It's minus 112 to the under. This opened up minus 116 to the under. Oh, it's flipped. There was just a move 7 minutes ago and a big one, an 8-cent move towards the over. So now we have 10 cents of movement towards the over. Instead of telling you a slight move towards the over, 10 cents of movement towards the over, and that happened 7 minutes ago. And then on the money line here, we have the Royals at minus 184. They opened up at minus 168. That's a big move towards the Royals. Wager Detective Royals first 5 in full game. I was thinking something similar to the splits for Mitchell. I mean, he gets hit by everybody. Lefties are hitting him hard, just as hard as righties right now. He's coming off allowing 4 earned runs at home versus the Athletics. He just looks so vulnerable out there. On the road this year, he's allowed 35 earned runs over 10 starts. I don't know what the hell's wrong with him. Going up against Michael Wacha, coming off the 7-3 win at the Red Sox, he went 6 innings, allowed 2 earned runs, struck out 3, didn't walk a batter. At home, he's only allowed 18 earned runs in 11 starts. You have the Nats bullpen falling apart. Every single facet of the game, the Royals have an advantage. They have an advantage with the starting pitching. They have advantage with the bullpen. They advantage with the Royals versus righties compared to the Nats versus righties last 30 days. You have a Nats team that actually plays better on the road than they do at home, but they're still 10 games under 500 on the road. I mean, I don't I would think this is as close as we'll get to. Well, we'll hear Rockies, Cardinals, but this to me feels like this. Jose Bouquet, Nationals, Royals, take it away.
Yeah, I could only lean Royals here as well with you. Mitchell Parker has been, he was a guy that I wanted to back last year. Points he's been a decent pitcher to back this year, but it's been more bad than good, honestly. So I'll stay off. And Jimmy said it would be hot for the man that sweats a lot, I assume.
I mean, it feels like 88. I mean, it's not. You'd like if you're fading Parker, you want it to be 100, but
although those tits will still be moist, don't you worry about that. But nothing here for me. I expect Walker to pitch well. I just don't trust the Washington Nationals at all.
See, it's funny when I talk about him sweating, I sound disgusted, and when Jose talks about Mitchell Parker sweating, he sounds aroused. Peter, Nationals, Royals.
Yeah, well, I definitely think that Parker will continue to be vulnerable. I'll take Garcia 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Let's see, what do we got here? I got to shop around. It'll be about 160 or so. There's been a big move to KC, right?
18 cents. But I mean, yeah. I think the more interesting part isn't the big move; it's how big of a favorite they started. They opened as monstrous favorites.
Yeah.
So everything qualifies here, to me. So, and Native Queen, KC first 5 full game and run line.
Yeah, I mean, this might be like you said, Jim. This is the don't overthink it spot of the card, possibly.
It's the ground fruit. BJ on Royals spot, Robert Franklin on the Royals, AM on the over 9 at even money, and he says because it's so far off his projected number at 7.9. Wager Detective liking it. TJ says he's drinking the juice. I hope we finally solved that issue that Jose had. It is drinking the juice, Jose. We don't need to mess around with it anymore. You don't need to tell us how you're going to eat the juice ever again. I think we can move past it and continue on with just drinking juice as the kids do.
We'll find out here shortly if I've got some juicy plays, whatever comes out of my mouth.
Oh, God. Even that sounds
better. It's better that what comes out of my mouth than what goes in my mouth.
Well, I'm going to back the Royals here. I think it's a slam dunk, and if the market moves even further in the next hour before I get to run it, I'll be fine with it. I'll deal with it. I'll just get whatever. I probably should bet it now. Let's see how much movement there's been in the last little while. It's actually come back 3 cents in a lot since 11:30. But there was that move at 9:08 a.m., a 23-cent move from minus 163 to minus 186. I mean, that's a big one. Okay, let's roll here. That is Royals, Nats. We have. Why are you off of it, Jose? What's keeping you off of it? Oh, because you don't like. I
don't bet minus ones. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And Peter just on Garcia props at this point, but maybe more will be coming. 7:45 p.m. Eastern. Next spot on the road, Colorado Rockies 30-88, 14-46 on the road. St. Louis Cardinals 61-59, 35-25 at home. Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. We have Kyle Freeland versus Matthew Liberatore, 2 lefties that I have struggled figuring out this year. Last start for Freeland, they lose 20-1 at home to the Jays. He goes 4 2/3, allowed 6 earned runs, struck out 4, walked 2. In 11 road starts, he's allowed 32 earned runs. He's been quite a bit better on the road than in the thin air of Colorado, but righties are teeing him up. 317, 870 OPS, and the Cards are destroying lefties right now, destroying them. AM on the over 8.5 here. Matthew Liberatore on the other side, coming off a pretty ugly start. It was a 5-3 win at the Dodgers, but he certainly didn't make it look easy. 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 1 K, and 1 walk. At home this year, he's had 10 starts. He's allowed 27 earned runs, being quite a bit better on the road. Opponents hitting 284 against him. Rockies versus lefties last 30 days, 267.55. Cards versus lefties, as I said, 333, 843 OPS. And unbelievably, the Rockies bullpen is allowing 4.99 more runs over 9 innings than the St. Louis Cardinals bullpen. Busch Stadium today, we expect it to be very humid, and it's not. There's rain throughout. Oh, this is the game that rain was going to wreak havoc on. Rain's certainly going to wreak havoc in this game.
Damn.
I don't know what they're going to do. They may push it. This could be a spot where they play at like start at 9 p.m., or something like that, which would be even. Yeah, I mean, the 9 p.m. Eastern start. I mean, rain is a serious issue. At first, it's 5.4 miles per hour in, but pretty quickly, just like in Kansas City, it starts blowing out. We have Busch at plus 3%, plus 11% homers, plus 1% doubles and triples, and minus 2% singles. And then when we get to the line history on the money line, the Colorado Rockies are plus 170. They opened up at plus 176, so there's been a very slight move towards them. And then on the total, we have Colorado St. Louis at 8.5, juice to the under. This even got down to an 8 at 8:26 a.m. That's crazy. I mean, I just can't. How is that possible? The way these teams are hitting lefties, that's just absolutely nuts. Jose Bouquet, take it away here. Rockies, Cardinals.
Yeah, this was the first game that I was interested in and wanted to talk about it, but admittedly, the weather issues do damper it a little bit here. And I'm sure maybe you haven't done it as religiously. I haven't even done it all that much either, but Kyle Freeland's been a back pitcher for me. It definitely in spurts here. We talked about it several times, but I was impressed by his accountability, telling people to stick with the Rockies, even though they're fucking dog shit. And he cares about it, and he's just crying during that press conference, showing that he cares about pitching where he's from and all that good stuff. Now, does that always translate to the field? No, because he gave up 6 earned runs against Toronto last time out. Obviously the Blue Jays are a very good squad this year, so I'm not going to hold that against him here. You mentioned numbers against lefties from the 15th to today. Colorado is 96 weighted runs created plus against lefties, and the Cardinals are 139 weighted runs created plus. That's second best in the league. Matthew Liberatore, a pitcher that is a good enough pitcher for me to just kind of stay off and think that he could dominate a Rockies team that I don't love to back either. So it would have been Rockies first 5, but weather kind of puts me off this game. And I'll quickly just mention the market again one more time for people. There is, as I just lost the STL incoming here. There we are. 86% of the bets and 66% of the money on the Cardinals here. Line has moved towards the Rockies ever so slightly, but I lean Rockies first 5. I didn't want to go up against the bullpen, but nothing here for me so far. Pete, what did you think?
I think that as far as the rain is concerned, I'm seeing that just there might be a little bit of a delay, but that once it goes, it'll be okay. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, but the delay could take a couple hours. I'm going to be just 10 seconds. I'll be listening. I'll be
okay. Yeah, I don't necessarily like Freeland to have a good start, but I think he'll go deep, and I like his innings prop actually. So I'm gonna make that official. I think he's obviously vulnerable in any situation, so an early exit is possible. But I'm gonna take Freeland over 16.5 outs. Seeing 130 here, but I can probably shop around and get better somewhere else. Over 16.5 outs, minus 130. I will take that. And then Liberatore, Jose Bouquet, or the comments section is. Does anyone have a read on him? Is he, he's definitely had a few rough starts recently. If he's due for a bounce back here at home against Colorado, this is it. Think it's going to happen?
I will say this. We are definitely in the part of the season where pitchers are starting to get tired. Jimmy mentioned that earlier with Ranger Suarez and arm fatigue.
Sure.
113 innings pitched so far for Matthew Libb. And his previous career high was 86 last year.
Sure.
So I could definitely see some arm fatigue coming into play here. Home road splits are pretty even, but shockingly enough, he's worse at home, 4.39 compared to a 3.59 on the road. So a little surprising there, but I am leaning Rockies pretty heavily here. First 5+0.5, maybe because this game is going, towards the under, and maybe Kyle Freeland can keep it together. We can get a 0-0, 1-1, whatever it may be. But I'm just trying to get out of this, hesitant vibe I've got going on right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna stick with just Freeland outs prop. Even if he gets touched a little, I think they'll leave him in.
What do you think, Jay?
I think these are two pitchers that I've just struggled with, and I can't. So I think that it's just like I just don't have a good read on them, and especially Liberator. So I think it's just best that I don't give you guys my thoughts on it. Honestly,
what's interesting about this game? I probably should bring up another game just to double check here. First 5 money line plus 150, and I'm getting plus a half at just straight even money. The difference there is just crazy to me.
Only 15 cents?
No, 150 to even money.
Oh yeah, but that's because of this total dropping.
Yeah.
They're telling us when we look at what these two lineups are doing against left-handed pitching over the last 30 days, we say, God, there's so much volatility in this baseball game with these two pitchers on the mound, and the market's telling us that there isn't. I mean, it's just it's crazy.
Yeah, so I think I'll get the gall and sack up and move on first 5+0.5 TJ special. Shout to you, TJ. Even money for me.
Well, you're getting a better number than they're offering at 365. 365, they're giving a 60-cent difference for the plus a half. Plus 150 to minus 110.
Well, yeah, it makes me feel better at least. But yeah, I'm hoping a low scoring affair here.
My guy Talk Sports with JT in the house. Great to see you, man. Football season coming up soon. Let's roll on to the next spot on the board. Peter, are you making anything official? And what was your official? Your Rockies
first Freeland over 16.5 outs minus 125.
Freeland over 16.5 outs minus 125.
Yeah.
And then Jose is on the Rockies first 5 plus a half. I mean, if I'm just going off of, you got your action, both of your action perfectly correlates together. And TJ says there is a rule about the TJ special. I don't use it for Colorado.
I was about to say it's a home team, but that makes sense.
All right, let's roll here. Next up for us, 8:05 p.m. Eastern, Arizona Diamondbacks 57-62, 27-32 on the road at the Texas Rangers 61-59, 37-24 at home. We're at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Irish King on St. Louis minus 1.5 for that last game that we just broke down. Here we have Anthony Disclafani coming off a 3-2 loss at home versus Padres. He pitched much better than I expected him to pitch. He's pitching well. Now we have Ron Lofton in the house. The Diamondbacks whisper says needs the over 7.5 to complete a plus 205 parlay with Rublev match over 23.5 and on Corbin Carroll over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I had one bet yesterday and it went down in flames in the third inning with Eovaldi getting touched up. I was on that first 3 under 2. It was just a horrible loss. Disclafani, I do not expect him to pitch well ever. I know that he's been good in ballparks just like this, run suppressing ballparks. And so I would imagine that this will set up for him, but he's only thrown 14 in the third innings on the road, struck out 10 and walked 9, 231 opponent's batting average. AM on the under 8.5 here. Says don't overreact to the one game of offense. They're still number one. This still is number one run suppressing park. And he says under city here. Justin McCelvy on the over 8.5. DC Capper on the Texas Rangers, who have Jack Leiter on the mound. My issue is with Disclafani. Some of these pitchers, I have a vividness bias of being gas cans, and it affects my cap here. And I have a vividness bias of DeSclafani being a gas can. I sort of do for Liberatore, even though I have backed him at times. Jack Leiter, I have a bias of him being better than his statistics indicate. I thought he would be better this year than what he's showing. 7-6, 4.05 ERA, 1.35 WHIP. His last start, 3-2 loss at home versus the Yankees. I mean, he doesn't make it through. I mean, he doesn't get into deep into the fourth inning. I mean, goes just 3 1/3. But at home, he's allowed 22 earned runs in 10 starts. He's only allowed 45 hits in 55 innings. Opponents hitting 217 against him. He should be trusted at home. Righties 250, 730. Righties have had a considerably better numbers than lefties who are hitting just 189, 606 OPS. So that is, Corbin Carroll is a lefty. I imagine Marte and Perdomo will hit from the right side. And then you have Del Castillo, the lefty, Alec Thomas, the lefty. Don't expect more than those 3 lefties in the lineup. Ronnie Lofton says hard to bet an under even at this park with Arizona putting runs on the board again. Diamondbacks versus righties, 256, 779 OPS last 30 days. Rangers is 226, 702. Rangers do have a bullpen advantage, but the Diamondbacks bullpen has not been nearly as horrific as it had been about 6 weeks ago. So that is our situation. Let's take a look at the line history and the cash flow. From a total perspective, we're sitting here with an 8.5. It's minus 111 to the over. This opened up at minus, oh God, there'd been a big move to the under. And 9 minutes ago, a 9-cent move 9 minutes ago to the under. So the under now has 8 cents of movement. It's now minus 110 to the under. And then when we get to the money line here, we have the Texas Rangers at minus 141. They opened up minus 145. So the market is telling us that DeSclafani is going to pitch well today. And I think that Leiter is capable of pitching well. I think this move to the under is interesting and should probably be backed. We have 73% of tickets on the under, just 53% of cash. So big bets have come in on the over, and it doesn't seem to be affecting the line. TJ saying Texas Penn has some issues today with usage. Jose, can you touch on that? And then on the money line, 66% of the tickets and cash, both on the Texas Rangers. Jose, take it away.
Yeah, bullpen. Everyone went yesterday. Phil Maton went back-to-back, got the dub. Holmy Milner went back-to-back, got the dub. Those are the only 2 guys I expect not to be available. Robert Garcia, who's one of their closers, didn't go. Armstrong, Colombo, whatever his name is. John Gray even threw yesterday, 16 pitches. I expect them all to be pretty good, but Holby Milner and Phil Maton, 2 acquisitions that they've liked, probably not going to be available today. But otherwise, I think it shouldn't be too bad.
First 3 is mine is heavily juiced to the over 2.5. I mean, the first 5 is a 5, and yet the full game is a 8.5 juice to the under. That's kind of difficult to wrap my head around. The market is expecting early scoring and then it's just a shutdown. Peter, your thoughts here on Globe Life Field, Rangers hosting the Diamondbacks?
Well, at the line, I kind of like the Diamondbacks. I think I'll probably make it official. Texas isn't that great, are they? I mean, Seager's all right. They're not that great.
No, and we thought they were going to turn it on sort of like the Mariners, and that's not been the case. They're now 5.5 games back of the Mariners. Mariners are a game back of the Astros.
They're on a big losing streak right now, right, too?
The Texas Rangers, as we speak, they won their last game, but they had been.
Yeah, I'll take the D-backs full game, plus 130 or so. I'll shop around. I won't try to get cute and take a -1 or something like that. I'll just take them to win.
All right, Loshak on the Diamondbacks. God, I guess I'm just going to leave this one alone. Unfortunately, I really thought I was going to find an edge there. Let's talk about Jose Bouquet's Boston Red Sox. Nasty Nate's Boston Red Sox, 65-55, 26-33 on the road. Houston Astros, 67-52, 36-24 at home. We're at Dyken Park in Houston, Texas. We have Dustin May going up against Spencer Arrighetti. We had Spooner talking about Arrighetti's difficulty in his rehab starts. That maybe he wasn't quite ready to come back, but he was, forced to because of the arm situation for the Astros. And it's funny because I've always been high on Spencer Arrighetti. I was excited to have him back rolling here. He was supposed to be an important part of this rotation this year. He pitched his last home start was March 29th. 6 innings, completely shut down the New York Mets, then pitched again after that, and then he got hurt. And then when he was in the minors, he looked really bad. He had 2 starts at Double-A Corpus Christi and 1 start in Triple-A Sugarland. Overall, he was just, walking too many batters. He walked 4 in that start at Triple-A Sugarland, over 4 2/3, walked 4, struck out 5. It was, he probably needed more starts, but he was forced to pitch here. And so I don't, righties have been annihilating him since he's, come back. I know the sample size is so tiny. So it was his first start from coming off the IL, 6-4 loss at the Marlins. He goes 3 2/3, 11 hits, 5 runs, 1 homer, 5 Ks, and 1 walk. Going up against Dustin May, I faded him in that first start with the Red Sox, and it worked well. He only went through 3 2/3, allowed 3 earned runs. On the road this year, he's been terrible. 9 starts, allowed 37 earned runs, walked 22 batters, allowed 9 home runs. Red Sox versus righties last 30 days, 245, 741 OPS. Astros versus righties, 253, 715 OPS. And both bullpens are pitching, really, really well. Spooner says he compensated for the walks by leaving the ball over the plate in the first start. Look at the hits. So let's take a look at the line history here for this one, the cash flow, and then hand it over to Jose if he's going to be backing his Boston Red Sox here today. We have a big move towards the Boston Red Sox. They opened up at plus 105. They're now minus 102. Maybe I'll stop on that big move. But, this was a plus 106 at 8 in the morning. It was plus 107 at 9 in the morning. So 9-cent move from that, but not a big move. That was a little too much there. But the Red Sox are creeping up to becoming the favorite. On the total here for this one, we have an 8.5, and it's minus 115 to the under. That's got to be a surprise. When this came out at 8:59 p.m., at 10:02 p.m., it went down to an 8. Then, 2 minutes later, it comes back. Every time it drops to an 8, it comes back to 8.5 pretty quickly. So people are obviously hammering these 8s, but the fact that it keeps going down to 8.5 is interesting. We get to the cash flow for Red Sox Astros. We have 57% of tickets and 73% of cash on the Astros, but line moving away from them. And here is a 50% ticket count on the over and 65% of cash on the over. And yet the line's moving towards the under. It's just like what AM's saying. Seeing all of us on the over. This is and he says the under is probably free. It's a fascinating situation here. Jose Bouquet, your Boston Red Sox, in effect.
Yeah, Red Sox money line for me, minus 103. Tight game yesterday. The Red Sox go down early. Well, the Red Sox go up early, then go down tremendously. They try to fight back, can't do it. But I do believe in this Red Sox team here, and Dustin May's first start in a new pitching infrastructure, I wasn't expecting much. Kind of surprised me with how well he did, honestly. And now that I think the Red Sox get to sink their teeth in it a little more, I think he'll continue to pitch better and better, honestly. So I took the Red Sox here, minus 103. Plenty of motivation on the Red Sox side with Cora and Alex Bregman, who obviously went deep yesterday, the most obvious home run in the world. But yeah, Red Sox money line minus 103 for me. The 50% of tickets and more than that of the money on the Astros and the line moving towards the Red Sox gets me there as well.
Yeah, I get it. The market is definitely pushing you in that situation. I don't feel comfortable in this game. Peter, do you?
I mean, my thought was Boston, but it was obviously it's obviously an interesting uncertain situation, as you guys have gone over. Yeah, I think the big question. Well, yeah, there's a lot of it. I mean, May overall hasn't been that great. Jose Bouquet, though, you expect him to improve in upcoming games and weeks?
I do. Maybe I'm being a homer bitch, but I do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I mean, from a statistical backing, what would you use to say he's going to pitch better?
I think that the Red Sox are going to keep reworking his pitch arsenal. He threw his cutter. His cutter was getting hit like an average against of like a 500 average against, and he threw it like 20% of the time with the Dodgers, and then they just skyrocket that up. The Red Sox do. So I think the Red Sox are going to tinker with his arsenal and see what they can pull out of it. And they've done it a good job this year of doing so. So I generally have trust them to do it.
Hey, Jimmy the Bag, can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
Texas Rangers ballpark. What's the ballpark, pal? Synopsis for that this game.
Well, the roof will be closed.
Right.
So it's -8%, -4% homers, -10% doubles and triples, and -3% singles.
Okay. Just curious. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks.
No worries. No worries, my friend.
All right. Despite that, I'm going to add Ketel Marte, 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, -125.
Ketel, too.
Ketel.
He's he's not a whatever. All right. Red Sox -103 for Mr. Bouquet and Ketel Marte being backed alongside the Arizona Diamondbacks for Peter Loshak. Let's roll on here to Dodgers Angels. And this is a pretty interesting situation. We must start with young Victor Medeiros, who has earned this opportunity. 6th-round pick in the 2022 draft out of Oklahoma State University. Just 24 years old. He's a Cuban pitcher from Santa Clara, Cuba. And he, as I said, earned this opportunity. He had 3 starts in the high A, but the bulk of starts, 16 starts at AAA Salt Lake City in the PCL League. Tough place to pitch. 3.39 ERA, 1.34 WHIP. Through 87 and 2/3 innings, 71 Ks and 34 walks. I mean, that's not the K to walk ratio you'd want, but in the Pacific Coast League, to throw 87 and 2/3 innings and only allow 6 home runs is extremely impressive, which is what he's been. He's been very impressive and now gets a chance to pitch in the majors. He's had 2 opportunities to pitch games. This is his first start. It's not his first. I guess it is. It's his first career start. He pitched 4 games in 2024 for the Angels. 5 1/3, allowed 7 earned runs. Again, the walks were a problem. 5 strikeouts, 6 walks. I'm sure that's, just being an issue for him. In 2024, he started in the high A Tri-City, went to Double A Rocket City, and closed the year in Triple A. And in Double A, he was getting rocked. It's a surprise that they even gave him a cup of coffee in the majors in 2024. In 2025, he's richly deserved this opportunity. We have Emmett Sheehan, 3-2, 3 ERA, 1.20 WHIP, coming off a spot where he allowed 2 runs. They weren't earned in a 12-6 win at home versus the Cardinals. On the road this year, he's thrown 13 innings, and he's looked really good. Again, here's another guy who walks too many batters, 13 Ks and 8 walks on the road. That's not an issue for him. At home, he struck out 18 and walked 3. I think it's probably just small sample size that we're dealing with. Lefties hit him harder than righties. Again, this could be a small sample size, again, that we're dealing with, but it's probably worth taking a look at who he's going to be, going up against here, how many lefties we expect to be in the lineup. So we have for the Angels the least amount of left-handed bats in Major League Baseball. Just Sean O'Well, who's really good, but that's it. Shout out to our guy Big Zo 499 Dono to bless our action in the chat. Says need Boston to make the playoffs for not just him, also for young Jose Bouquet. So these pitchers both have walking issues. I think that I'm starting to trust Emmett Sheehan maybe more than I should. Dodgers are really not hitting that hard. Against righties last 30 days, 241, 723 OPS. Angels versus righties, 237, 719 OPS. Dodgers bullpen starting to pitch much better, 3.33 ERA last 30 days. The Angels bullpen, 4.11 ERA. DC Capper on the Angels. DC Capper on the Dodgers, -1. Let's take a look at this line history and cash flow as well as the weather in Anaheim. Shout out to our Wine Time Sports. 78 Fahrenheit feels like 81, 6.3 miles per hour out to center, dies down to 4.5 miles per hour. Ballpark Pal has Angel Stadium plus 3% overall, plus 17% home runs, but -5% doubles and triples, and -2% singles. We have the total is a 10. Opened up at 9.5, and now we have a 10. And it's -108 to the over. It's a big move to the over. On the money line here, we have the Dodgers at -178. They opened up at -171, 7 cents of movement towards the Dodgers. And then when we get to the cash flow for Dodgers Angels, we have 59% of the tickets on the Dodgers, but 88% of cash on the Angels. Wow. 62% of tickets on the under, but 78% of cash on the over, and the over is doing a lot of talking. And shout out to the Wager Detective with the $10 dono. Thank you, Wager Detective. Wager Detective on the Pirates and the Braves today. Go get that cash wager, and thank you so much for supporting the channel, my friend. Jose Bouquet, you said that you had West Coast action. Was this a part of it?
No, actually, this is the one that I don't, which is funny enough. Shout out to the Angels last night winning. I was surprised to see it, and our guy Wine Time was obviously on his Angels, so I love to see that. He took them plus 1.5, I think. So it was great victory there. I just haven't wanted to back the Dodgers in any scenario here, and I don't want to back a young rookie pitcher who you said has made appearances, but this is his first start against the Dodgers. Just a scary spot to try to put a young pitcher in, so I'm off.
I get it. SX is predicting a Victor Medeiros lights out pitching performance. Ryan says, I think Medeiros could shock some people here. DC Capper on the over. Peter Loshak, Battle of Los Angeles. Freeway.
Yeah, I need to look into this a bit more. This is one of the games I didn't look into too deeply. I really don't know what to expect from Medeiros. Obviously, any kind of result here would not be a surprise. It's a tough assignment, but we'll just pass. Sorry. Yeah.
It's tricky. I thought that something would come across. I mean, if you're, and again, you can find the numbers to back up any angle that you have. The market is certainly screaming over here, isn't it? I mean, screaming it.
Yeah, 10 was an interesting number for sure. Well, there's AM on the under.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a tough game. I just couldn't get there either way.
And this is Stacks play today number 2. It is the LA Dodgers team total over 5.5 for Justin Mcelvy.
Stacks.
Well, I'm gonna need more time with this. I kind of like Emmett Sheehan, and I don't know what maybe this is just a little too volatile. I am going to keep looking at the over, though. Let's roll. Stephen Hairston in the house. Lex Steele on a Ohtani home run. And Stephen Hairston saying, I think this is where the Dodgers get right. Let's move on to our second to last game on the MLB card. Justin Mcelvy will be joining Peter and I for 2 games in the WNBA. We have Padres Giants here next up. Nestor Cortez versus Robbie Ray. The fun part about this is I get so excited when the lines come out, the opening line and where it moves and all that stuff. It's just, I find it extremely fun. And This line opened up at minus 119 for the Giants. So I imagine that anybody's model would say, oh, got to bet the Giants right now. And then my thought was, well, I have to study why the hell would this line open up at minus 119. The model bettors, I assume, had their line, they're screaming, we have a huge advantage here. And the line moved initially towards the Giants. Within 2 minutes, there was a 3-cent move. And then about 45 minutes after that, there was a 5-cent move. That turns out to be the high watermark for the Giants, that minus 127. Then it just went straight towards the Padres. So overall, there's been a 10-cent move away from the Padres. So then I'm like, okay, well, I know that Robbie Ray is a much better pitcher than Nestor Cortez. Robbie Ray's coming home where he's been really good this year. He's coming off 2 very good road starts in tricky situations. And he's coming home where he's only allowed 21 earned runs in 12 starts. So why would this be, moving towards the Padres? Or why did the opening line open at such a fishy spot where, year one down in Costa Rica with Peter, I would have told him that I'm on the San Francisco Giants here. I have a huge amount of advantage. And Peter would have said, I'm very nervous about this spot for you. So why? And then you go to what the Giants are doing against lefties. They're just not hitting them. 194, 552 OPS. You also have the best bullpen in baseball in the San Diego Padres. Nestor Cortez had his first start with the Padres, 4 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 3 Ks, 3 walks, the 3-2 win at the Diamondbacks. On the road, he's had 2 starts. Now, they didn't come with the Padres, and then those 2 starts is a tiny sample size. In those 2 road starts, he was absolutely annihilated. 6 2/3. In those 6 2/3, he allowed 6 home runs, 5 strikeouts and 8 walks. And maybe he just didn't, maybe he wanted to be traded. Wager Detective says line looks funny. Lean Giants here. Yes, this line looks funny. And Spooner and Justin McKelvey on the Padres that makes a lot of sense to me that they're on it just out of line analysis, because if you break down Nestor Cortez for too long, you want to fade this gas can. The Padres are hitting lefties with not a lot of power, but 264, 709 OPS. Again, the Giants are hitting them all. So there's your situation here. This is X's and O's. Again, this is my first year doing this publicly beside Pete compared to right now. It's just, it's a completely different person, I feel like. 61 Fahrenheit, feels like 58, 9.8 miles per hour out to center, dies down to 8 miles per hour. Ballpark Pal has Oracle minus 4% overall, minus 25% home runs, minus 2% doubles and triples, and plus 9% singles. When we get into the total for the line, so we know that this line has moved 10 cents away from the Giants towards the Padres. And when we get into the total, we have the 7.5, and it is juiced to the under slightly. I'm looking at really sharp books that have it juiced to the under heavy. This isn't one of them. This is basically exactly where it opened, slightly juiced to the under. And then when we get to the cash flow for Giants Padres, little NL action late, 61% of tickets and 93% of the cash is on the Padres. 93% of the cash. I mean, that's absolutely wild with Cortez versus Ray. 90% of tickets and cash are on the under. Even that's wild. Jose Bouquet, take it away.
Yeah, it's not my most comfortable spot here, admittedly, with all that money on the Padres. But how are we not betting the Padres here? This just seemed like such a interesting line here. Well, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is the line trying to get people to bet the Padres here, and they've got everyone betting them. Because in my head, I thought the Padres could be favored in this game, even at the Giants here with Nestor Cortez on the bump. But I've kind of gone back and forth on this one. I thought the Padres were the spot here. And I was very interested to hear what you guys had to say. I'm happy to hear that Spoon and Justin are on my wavelength of thought here when it comes to what this line is here. But I'm even seeing like where we used to play poker at, Jimmy. Open this up. I'm going to refresh real quick just to make sure here. But it seems like they opened this up at minus 135 here. Yeah, they've opened up minus 135, has gone down, and at midnight or past midnight, it got down to minus 115. here, now sitting at minus 112, and the same thing at Penny, minus 119 and minus 109. So, yeah, I lean Padres here for sure, and I just was waiting to hear what you guys had to say until I moved on it. And, with Padres, it's obviously a full game look for me because of how good their bullpen is. And just to go over their bullpen rest situation here, Robert Suarez and Mason Miller both went yesterday. Jason Adam is off of a back-to-back. He got a day off yesterday. Same thing with Morahone. Estrada through 22. So we'll probably see we'll probably see Suarez, Mason Miller, and Adam here. So we'll see if that comes to the tight part of the game. But Padres for me. What do you guys think?
I mean, I'm interested here, Peters. Every single thing that you look at from a pitching standpoint, just from a starting pitching standpoint, would have you running to back the Giants. I mean, look at the at-bats that the Giants players have gone up against Cortez. 30, 40. So we have 50 at-bats. They've hit 6 home runs. 6 home runs and 11 RBIs. Devers has 2 homers off from Chapman has 2. Ramos has 1. Schmidt has 1. I mean, now Machado gets to Ray 3 home runs and 16 at bats, but that's it. Or Laureano too. I mean, he gets to almost all lefties. But this is. I'm looking forward to hear what Peter says about this line, because I don't. When we talk about the red flag of everyone in the chat being on a bet, this is not one that really. This is, I think, our colleagues being really sharp, because I don't know how you don't end up on the Giants, and the fact that our friends and colleagues have gone to the Padres, I'm impressed with. I think the red flag is when everybody's on a public spot, not when everybody in our chat is on what appears to be a very sharp look. Peter, what do you think?
Yeah, this one, first of all, I'm going to add on Corey Seager, hits, runs, and RBIs, minus 150. This one, I'll probably, because of the craziness of the game, probably have a bet on this, bet or two by first pitch. But as of right now, definitely don't know what to make of it. Want to see where the line moves and when.
Padres are 3 games under 500 on the road. Their pitcher has horrific statistics. They're going up against former Cy Young Award winner, whose numbers are very good, coming off 2 very impressive road starts. I mean, it's just the elephant in the room to me statistically was what the Giants are doing to lefties, and they're not hitting them at all. So if that neutralizes the advantage for Robbie Ray, I mean, if we're saying here that, I mean, the market is telling us that this is going to be a low-scoring baseball game. And if it's a low-scoring baseball game, it probably comes down to the bullpen where the Padres have the advantage.
Padres plus 103 full game for me. Be official.
Sorry, say that again?
Full game plus 103. Padres.
Padres full game. And AM says recency bias. Everyone's just watched the Giants lose 3 games, putting up 3 runs total. I mean, I'm just taking each game as its own individual thing. I don't care. I try not to care at all what happened yesterday or the previous days. But Wager Detective wanting us to be on the Padres because he's going to be on the Giants. And it's funny because young me would be all over the Giants here. And I imagine, Peter, you would say that you're very nervous about that for me. Am I diving into that too much, or do you think it's probably the right spot?
I need to look into what to expect for Cortez, and the line movement might be telling. We'll see. This is a very confusing game for sure.
And the Chill is saying, don't underestimate what the Padres pitching coaches can do with Nestor. This is we're getting later into the day now. It's 2:34 p.m. Eastern. I mean, a lot of the market movement should be set. But I'm interested in joining Jose on the Padres. This just something's not right here. Something is not right. So let's just one last thing. I mean, the Giants should be big favorites first 5 compared to what they are full game, right? We have and also
minus 130 at least.
So they're minus 115 full game here at 365, and then on the first 5, they're minus 135. So 20 cents.
I think that's just a big bullpen advantage there. I mean, obviously. Right. So I don't think that's out of the ordinary.
Wager Detective says 91% of cash on the Padres seals it for Wager Detective. I'm very curious to see what it's going to say later. I don't know if I necessarily need to. I think that the under is probably in play here. Nestor Cortez, the market is telling us that he's going to pitch well. So I think that the under is in play. I really do. And I'm going to take a long look at that. That would be the full game under 7.5, though, not the first 3 under at this point. Don Play says, any unders we've come across yet? I'll go over everything again here because I have not moved on any games before this. So Jose on the Padres. Peter, you are off of this one at this point. Stephen Harrison back on the Padres. Essex says, who feels confident? The Giants here in this chat. Wager Detective does. Mr. Wager Detective does. Let's talk about our final game on the board, Peter. And I'm going to bless you with this, Peter. We've had this. Oh, I guess we don't have room for it at this point. We have a new Wizard of Boz. Oh, yes, we do. Here we go, right here, Pete. The Wizard of Boz here for the Tampa Bay Rays. Coming on a 5-4 win at the Angels. It was a wild situation for young Shane Boz. It was 4-4 after, 3 innings? And then only one more run was scored. Boz, 4.92 ERA, 1.34 whip. The Rays continuing this Western swing. On the road this year, Boz has been really good. I expected him to be good in that start, and he wasn't really. 11 road starts. He's allowed 24 earned runs. He pitches in a really tough ballpark, and this is another tough ballpark. Both Jacob Lopez and Shane Boz should be used to these AAA conditions, and I like both pitchers. Spooner's been very strong with Lopez here, backing Lopez, trusting Lopez, especially on the road when he was struggling. Walla Dose in the house. What up, Walla Dose? AM's on the under 10 here. Says projected 9.6. So Lopez didn't allow. I find it very tricky to back Lopez after the greatest start of his major league career. And it was a spectacular performance that was predicted by Spooner. 7 2/3, 3 hits, 10 strikeouts and no walks, and that 6-0 win at the Nationals. At home this year, he's been excellent. 13 earned runs in 8 games, 6 starts, 37 1/3. He's been very, very good. Rays versus lefties, 207, 625. They're not hitting them. A's versus righties, they are hitting them. 266, 810. Rays bullpen been pitching very good. So is the A's bullpen. We have Justin McCelvy on the team total over 4.5. DC Capper on the Nerfy in this one. So let's take a look at the weather and line history. This is our final game on the board before Justin McCelvy joins us for WNBA action. We have here, weather-wise, we'll start with Swish. It's 84 Fahrenheit, feels like 82, 9.8 miles per hour to left center, dies down to 8.9 miles per hour. Ballpark, Pal has Sutter Health Park, plus 36% homers, plus 18% overall, plus 36% homers, minus 2% doubles and triples, and plus 6% singles. Getting into the line history here from a total perspective, we have a 10. It's minus 114 to the under. It just got back up to 10. It didn't. It's been back up at 10 since 10:14 a.m. It opened up at 10, minus 108 to the under. It dropped to 9.5 a few times, but we're at 10 right now, minus 114 to the under. Still, there's been 6 cents of movement towards the under from the opening line. On the money line here, we have Lopez and the Athletics at minus 110. They opened up there's just been a move towards the Rays. There was 6 cents of movement 5 minutes ago. So the Rays have gone from plus 104 to minus 104, and when they're about to hit the dog to favorites range, when we get to the cash flow for this, we have 76% of tickets and 65% of cash on the A's, 60% of tickets and 80% cash on the under. Can you back Jacob Lopez off the greatest pitching performance of his young life. And that's a really tough spot to do here, which makes me think that what are we going to meet in the middle? Boz improves. Lopez, comes back a little bit, and it's, 2-2 after 4. Take it away, Jose Bouquet. Rays, A's.
Yep, I was on the Wizard, or I'm leaning on the Wizard here. Again, same thing as the last few games. I haven't made it official yet because I wanted to talk it out with you guys. But 76% of the bets and 65% of the money on the A's, and we've slipped down to the Rays being favored minus 104 each way kind of situation. Like I said, I just wanted to kind of talk it out, but Rays was definitely another look on my card here that I was extremely interested in. Pete, I assume Pete hasn't looked at this game because it's one of the last ones, and he's such a busy man. But what do you have to say about this one, Pete?
No, you're absolutely right. But yes, I mean, I really would love to find some way to fade Lopez here in some way, shape, or form, even if it's just a hitter prop. Yeah, it's not a good spot for him, of course.
Jimmy, I haven't looked at first 5 here. What's the first 5 price for Shane Boz? Minus 130?
I will look it up, but I want to touch on what Robert Franklin's talking about. He says Lopez had a similar start against Houston, followed up with a gem against Detroit. I just want to go through his game log here because, look at this guy. I mean, we're lining up to fade Jacob Lopez, and he hasn't allowed a run since July 21st. 3 straight starts of not allowing a run. 17 innings. He's only allowed 10 hits. He has walked 9. It's just not great, and he didn't look very good in July. I was wondering if, people were starting to figure him out because he looked so dominant in June, and the A's looked great in his starts. He had five straight wins in June. The A's did while he was pitching. So the great start against Houston, 1 earned run over 6 innings, 9 Ks and 3 walks. It's a good start. And then he shut down the Tigers. That's more of the start I'm talking about. Tigers, 7 innings, doesn't allow an earned run, strikes out 6, 1 walks, 1 batter, allows 3 hits, and then he comes back and gets touched up by these Rays in 3 1/3. Yeah, I think the Rays has to be the spot.
Now, the first 5 line hasn't moved at all, so I'm going to go with full game here.
Oh, sorry. Let me answer that question here quickly from my side of the books here. Rays full game right now, minus 105 here. I'm not signed in, but minus 105. And then first 5, they're plus 105. So we have a 10-cent difference here for the A's. If we go to an offshore, that's much sharper than 365. We will have. Let's see the difference here. We have, so this still hasn't. Okay, so we're at minus 104. Oh, sorry. There we go. We have another. Yeah, we have 9 cents difference here for the A's first 5. So you have none at off where we split.
No, I had minus 123 full game, first 5 A's, but it just hasn't moved. Just been staying there, so that's why I'll stick with full game line moving. Obviously, it seems like they're more concerned full game than first 5.
Spooner is on the Athletics money line here, backing Lopez, and why wouldn't he? He's been making money on all these Lopez starts, and why wouldn't he? I think this. I don't know. Look, the last time Lopez had a start that was close to the quality of his last start, he came back and got touched by the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, obviously, we're sitting there looking at the Tampa Bay Rays. The market is indicating here that the Rays should be bet. You have 76% of the tickets on the Athletics and 65% of the cash, and yet this line's moving towards the Rays. So that's probably what I'm going to do here is back the Rays full game. And I'm not going to do it first 5 because I like the Rays bullpen better than the A's bullpen, even though both have been good. Jose, what are you doing?
Full game minus 103 for me.
Rays minus 103. So, Billy Friedrich says, where's Rusty Kuntz? when you need the man. Big Rusty Coots. Spooner says Boz is a liability in this park. And, I guess, Boz has been bad at home. He's been better in, parks that hinder runs, and this isn't one of them. Boz has been bad at home where it's a AAA ballpark like this. I get that. I get that. I get it. I get why you are on this, Spoon. Again, from an X's and O's point of view, I'd be very, very interested in the outcome. And I'm going to have to make sure I have the conviction to go against you. But from an X's and O's standpoint, you're absolutely right. It makes perfect sense to back the A's. For the market, though, is telling us otherwise. There we go. That is our MLB card for Tuesday, August 12th. Let's do a review of action. Nasty Nate's daughter turning 16 today. Peter, don't forget, we need a Nasty Nate birthday pick. That doesn't have to be in baseball. So we're going to go over all action here after we've done everything. But let's talk action here for baseball from us. I'm going to be on the Orioles in some form. I have to figure out exactly how that is, whether it's first 5 plus a half or full game. I'm also going to be on the Guardians today against Jansen Junk. Again, that could be a double up spot, first 5 and double result. I'm looking at the first 5 over in Philadelphia, Cincinnati Reds, and I expect to move on it. I have some interest in the Twins first 3 plus a half. I don't know if I can get there. I believe in the Cubs today. And again, I want to go over the market a little bit more. There's no chance it'll be a double up spot. It'll either be a first 5 or a full game here. I find the Mets appealing, but I have as many question marks beside it as asterisks. I don't think it makes sense to catch a falling knife. And if I have enough action, I won't. If I don't have enough action, I will. I will back the Mets. And I just mean just how it sounds. If I'm only sitting here with 4 or 5 bets, I'll add the Mets. But if I've got double digit action, I don't want to try to catch a falling knife. I am interested in the White Sox against Jack Flaherty. I'd like to know exactly who's pitching here, if it's Vassell or whoever it is. And then the Royals, I think, is the smash and grab spot. I think Waka, I know we were kind of debating it in the chat, not out loud, but just we were writing back and forth. I think Waka's lights out at home. 18 earned runs over 11 starts. He's allowed 4 home runs and 61 2/3 at home. I am backing him. We are not doing NFL preseason tomorrow at this point, AM, but I'll figure out how we're going to attack it. Next week's much easier than this week because this week we have all the weekend games. And then for me, I slow down. I found the rest of the card pretty difficult. I'm looking at the over in Dodgers Angels just because the market's so heavy on it. The Padres in the under 7.5, and then the Rays, and that is going to be my card. Again, I'm going to sit with all the notes. I've copied and pasted so much action from you guys in the chat. I'm going to sit with it all and then get my bets in after the show. Jose Bouquet, your MLB action for Tuesday, August 12th.
Yeah, and I'm glad that I could at least contribute a little bit at the end. It was a pass-a-palooza at the beginning of the card here, so I'm glad that it wasn't too boring for everyone out there watching, and hopefully we can make some money today as well. Rockies first 5 plus a half at even money, first 5 there. Red Sox full game money line minus 103. Padres full game plus 103, and Tampa Bay Rays full game money line minus 103 for me there.
I like it. Peter Loshak, please review your MLB action and any additions you would like for Tuesday, August 12th, 2025.
All right. Well, I got a lot of hits, runs, RBIs, props today, but hopefully they'll all come out positive. All right. Gunnar Anderson hurts over 1.5 minus 130, and then I'm adding on in that same game Naylor over 1.5 minus 135. That's actually a live line that I can get right now. Then for Cleveland, Steve Kwan 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs minus 155, and Buxton 1.5 at minus 120. Then in the Cubs game, Bush, Tucker, and Suzuki. Bush is 115, Tucker 130, and Suzuki is 140. Then I'm going to take Michael Garcia minus 160 for 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Freeland over 16.5 outs, minus 125. But take a shot with the Diamondbacks at plus 130. There are some people I respect who are like in Texas, minus 1.5. We'll see, though. I'm gonna stick with it, and then I'm gonna add Ketel Marte, 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, minus 125. I'm adding on Corey Seager, 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, minus 150. And in this Tampa Bay A's game, I'm gonna be looking at it while we're doing WNBA, and I'll add on a few from that game as well.
I love it. Peter, do you want more time for your birthday pick for Nasty Nate's daughter?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Review that.
Birthday pick for her, Nasty. Boston Red Sox smash, Nate. Go get that fucking money. Happy birthday to her. Good luck to everyone, and I can't wait to see what our guys cook up.
First general piece of life advice. This is not the birthday pick, but if you're ever at a steakhouse, strongly consider a T-bone. This shit is good. Trust me, this shit was good when it's hot. It was hot. It's better now, cold. So I'm telling you, get Nasty Nate to take you to a steakhouse once in a while, here and there, one time in your life. Get yourself a T-bone, baby. Yeah. Well, I'll give you a birthday pick too.
We have our clip, Jose, for today's social media. That was it right there. That was it. All right, let's roll on. Thank you, Worth It, my friend. I enjoyed immensely. I love capping baseball with you guys. And let's, get that money, man. Time to talk WNBA. We have just the man for the job. Now coming to us from Pennsylvania by way of Georgia. Star of the 2-3 zone alongside Ron Crawford and Ramon Scott over at Tony's Picks. Rocking with us, capping WNBA. Please welcome star of the Stacks play today, Mr. Justin Mcelvy.
Stacks.
Gorky also moving on his action and blessing us with a $5 dono. Thank you, Gorky, my friend. Copied and pasted. Yes, can't wait to hear all about it on Friday. We've copied and pasted all of that. Justin, how are you, my friend?
Pretty good. Jimmy Pistol, what's up?
What's going on?
Let's get that money, fellas. Let's roll. We have 2 games in the WNBA, and I am sold. I will be capping WNBA for the rest of my career, the rest of my life, and I'm going to fucking destroy it. But I haven't proven that this year, as you've seen with my record. But I am learning so much with each passing day, and I'm enjoying it very, very much. Let's get to work. Fellas, we start at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The Dallas Wings 8-24, 3-12 on the road at the injury-riddled Indiana Fever, 18-14, 10-6 at home. We're at Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Let's get right into the line history here. Move over here. Let's get right into the line history. Oh, shoot, that's money line. Let's get over to spread. And here we go. Game 1 on our board. We've had a huge move to the Indiana Fever. -9. They opened up -7.5. They got up to -10 at 12:29 p.m. Is there any injury news that was based on that, or is that just sharp money, Justin?
I didn't see nothing. I was looking unless they know something about Paige, but he played the last game, so.
Let's see if there's any new information here very, very quickly. Because just to make sure that is all just cash. And it is Ogunbowale.
Not good.
Yeah, she is a knee injury and is questionable against the Fever. Had to be something. That's a pretty big move.
How about this? That's that means someone backed the trunk up if that wasn't no injury.
Yes. And that's and thank you, AM, saying Ogunbowale questionable here. And Gorky, we are very excited to rock with you, my friend, on Friday. And thank you for sharing your action. So Enrique Okumbawali questionable, and the Fever. We'll get into it more, but Ari McDonald done for the season. Sidney Colson done for the season, and Caitlin Clark with no sign of being able to play anytime soon. 3 guards all gone, which is put the pressure on Sophie Cunningham to step up, something that she's been very excited about doing. So Dallas comes in off the 5th straight loss, 91-78 at home to the Mystics on Sunday. Becker's 17 points. That is her 25th game scoring in double digits, start her career. Cynthia Cooper is number 1, holds the record at 92. Asia Wilson, 37. Candace Parker, 32. She's tied with Ruthie Bolton at 25. Ogunbowale, 12 points. Haley Jones, 11 for Dallas. They've lost 5 straight. They have been struggling. Now, because this is a team that should be faded anytime they get a big lead, they were up 41-30. 41-30 before being outscored 33-17 in the third quarter and 28-20 in the fourth quarter. Fever snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 92-70 home victory over the Sky on Saturday. Kelsey Mitchell, 26. Lexi Hull, 17. Sophie Cunningham scored 10 of her 16 points before halftime. Aaliyah Boston, 15. Hull is now in the starting lineup with Sidney Colson, torn ACL, and Ari McDonald, broken bone in right foot, and of course Caitlin Clark, gonzo. Let's take a look at the cash flow. We know that this side, we've had a big move towards Indiana, 7.5 to 9. Let's take a look at the total here for this one. And from a total perspective, we're sitting here with a 169.5 juice to the under at -113. This opened up at 171.5. This was at 172 right around noon. So it's been a pretty heavy move to the under since then. We get to the cash flow. We have 66% of the tickets on the Fever and 55% of the cash. 62% of tickets on the over and 90% of the cash on the over. And yet we're seeing it dropped. AM says the Fever that he's projected 169.2, said almost moved on the under 173 before the show passed this morning when it was 172. Says decided to let it go. Let's go here. Peter Loshak, what are your thoughts on this game? And then hand it over to our expert, Justin Mcelvy.
Well, before the injury issue, I was thinking Dallas first half for sure would be a play. Maybe it still is. I don't know, but obviously that's a huge injury for Dallas. And then and then I was also liking the under as well, and it has gone down a little bit. Not sure if I like it at the current line, but I mean, obviously, Dallas is a team that they lose straight up, but they cover. They tend to do well in the first half. They seem like they have some life to them. Indiana has a lot of injuries and roster issues. So why not Dallas first half? But I guess this Ogunbowale injury is huge, right?
It's certainly wreaking havoc on the market here. Justin, take it away.
Yeah, I didn't prior to coming on here. I didn't know nothing about Wally, but it don't really change nothing for me. I'm on the when I got it, I think I gave you the wrong odds too by 5 cents. I'm on the Fever team total over 88.5. I got that at minus 120, but I think I sent you 115. But when I went back and looked, I got it at 120. And I just feel like one thing they do, they preach defense and they love to run the ball. Like they run up and down the court. So Dallas don't play no defense. The only time they play a little bit of defense is at home, but on the road, I love looking at their opponent's team totals over, especially with a questionable Wally. Like that means there's not going to be nobody but Page. So I love the period team total. I was looking at Kelsey Mitchell, but they moved her up to 20.5. So I stay away. She had 24 last game. So I left that alone. But the Fever team total over 88.5. I love that. Stay away from the spread. Just ask them to score.
Over 88.5. What was the juice that you got on it?
Minus 120.
Minus 120. Let's talk about 3 guards being out here for the Fever. I think this move to the under make sense. But the Fever comfortably put up 92 points against the Chicago Sky in their last game. It didn't seem that they put 25 points up in the first quarter and 23 in the second quarter. I mean, there was no concern here. They moved Lexi Hall in the starting lineup, and then they have Sophie Cunningham coming in next. The problem is their bench now is very, very weak. Dantas, Turner, Bibby, and Timpson combined, they played 64 minutes combined. They combined to go 4 for 16 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3. And I think that's what we're going to get from them. If Dallas could play any defense, I would be on the full game under. I don't think, and then I would say, well, do the Fever need to play heavy minutes here for their guards? And they still did. Cunningham and Hull, played 60 minutes combined, so they're still pushing them a lot. But clearly, when it comes to the bench, they're going to fall off. This is
I don't mind your under, because it could be like a 93-74 type game. I don't see Dallas scoring too much with the Fever worrying about the defense. They preached about it before the Mercury game. That didn't work well. In the last game, they put the whole clamps on. So you take Wally out, like Dallas not going to do too much scoring. So I wouldn't expect. I don't know what their team total is, but I would take a look under that too.
Huh. Wow.
But I'm more comfortable with just the Fever team total, but I might look at that Dallas team total under when I get off here.
Okay. No, that makes sense. That all makes sense. Lex Steele got the under 175.5. Nice job, Lex. That's excellent work. Occupancy saying that team total is at 80. Okay, well, this show is about having the information and then, making a bet. I feel like I've kind of late to the party with the under, but man, all this cash on the over. Two teams that don't play defense. Is there a concern with Dallas? Because, I mean, when we talk about how bad they are defensively, it's not Ogunbowale that is the problem. She plays defense, doesn't she? Like, it's everybody else is the problem.
Right. And she's questionable. Like, you need her to score. I ain't really looking at her for a defense. I was looking at her not being questionable for the offense. Like, where the points coming from?
SX, no, I think that line is very, very suspect, very, very fishy, and it's leaning me towards the Cubs. The Blue Jays should be at least 20 cents bigger favorites, in my estimation. So it sort of reminds me of the Reds game from yesterday when the Reds should have been 20-cent bigger favorites, had a huge pitching advantage on the mound and didn't win. I find the two games very similar. So I'm likely to be on the Cubs. Okay, I'm going to need to study it a little more. DC Capper is on the over 170 in this one. Peter, let's talk about game 2 on the card, Liberty Sparks. Do you want to set the table or do you want me to?
I'll just tell you quickly what I thought. Obviously, the Liberty have been terrible ATS for a while, and 5 straight unders. Last one was a double-digit home loss as a favorite. The 3 before that, though, were just wins, but they were too big of a favorite. And LA completely opposite. Last 10 games, I think they've covered like 8 of them or something like that. Unreal. So I was thinking, obviously, LA as a home dog here is what you would look at, think about, but it's now moved in the Liberty's favor. And I was also leaning over, and it's dropped. So who knows?
Well, for me, this is the situation that I love unders in the NBA. You have the favorite on the first of a back-to-back. I mean, that made me want to move on the under. But it's tricky to time when the Sparks. It's not because the Sparks never play defense. It's more about when the Sparks offense doesn't show up rather than any defense being played. So I want the under in this one, and I also want the Sparks, but only the under is what should have been bet right away, and AM moved on it on the 177.5, which is excellent job. So let's set this one up here. Right now, we have the Sparks opening up at 3.5. They went down to 3. That was the first move, was toward the Sparks, and now it's come back. And it's come back really legitimately as we see a 4.5. There was a time when this 4.5 at 9:30 this morning for the Sparks was minus 117, where it was going to come back to a 4. That didn't happen. It did go back to a pick'em at 11:22 a.m., but then, at 1:45 p.m. an hour and 20 minutes ago, it got back to a 4.5, and it's, I guess, sorry, when it moved to minus 108, I was very concerned that the market's screaming Liberty. We've had 7 cents of movement back to the Sparks at the 4.5, which becomes more appealing. The total, we talked about it moving from, let me just get the exact numbers here. The total moved from down to 175.5. It opened up at 176.5. It got up to 178.5 this morning around 7 a.m. and then it's come back down. It went down to 174.5 at 9:15 this morning, so it actually climbed a little bit to 175.5. So cash flow here for this one, we have 53% of the tickets and 62% of the cash on Los Angeles. That makes me very uncomfortable. 73% of tickets on the under and 84% cash on the under. So maybe that's just the bet. Liberty, as I said, first of a back-to-back. They play at Vegas on Wednesday. Had their 3 winning streak snapped in an 83-71 loss at home to the Lynx on Sunday. But who did they beat? I mean, they beat the worst teams in the league. And let me just go over them and give you the scores. They beat the Wings at, in Dallas 88-77. They beat the Wings at home 85-76. And they beat the Connecticut Sun 87-78 after losing to them 78-62 in the game before. They beat nobody. So they're coming off the 83-71 loss at home to the Lynx on Sunday. New York playing without Stewie and the Lynx playing without Nafisa Collier. And Natasha Cloud led them in scoring with 14 points. Their bench got badly outplayed by Minnesota's 34-19. Sparks bounced back from their 72-59 loss at Golden State on Saturday by beating the Storm at home, 94-91 on Sunday. Hamby was a monster late. Kelsey Plum, finished with 19. Kelsey Plum finished with 20. But this is their third game in 4 nights. And that was the reason why I'm not on them. The market, moving towards Liberty is probably another reason why I'm not going to be on them. Now, it's the third game of 4 nights. The travel hasn't been too difficult. So if we go through the days, Saturday, so Friday, they fly to Golden State, to San Francisco. Saturday, they play in San Francisco. Sunday, they come home to LA and play Seattle. Monday, they have off, and Tuesday, they play at home again. So it's not the worst possible situation. Don Play says Sparks played a hell of a game. It's God, losing on the first leg of a back-to-back, backing on the second leg. It's just the gift that keeps giving over and over and over again in basketball. Here we go. Justin McKelvey, Liberty Sparks, take it away.
Yeah, first I'll make official. Before I get off here, I'll make the second one. I'm still looking at something. I want to pull the trigger, but Rakia Jackson for the Sparks, she had back-to-back bad games where kind of felt like she was just letting Hamby and Brina trying to get back, and Cameron Brink trying to get back into the fold. So give me Rakia Jackson over 14.5 points at minus 118. And this total also dropped from when we did it yesterday. I should have jumped on it yesterday, and I didn't. So I'm not going to be on there. But since yesterday, I was on the Sparks. I felt like at home, this is where you want them. You don't want them as favored, but they don't play no defense, whether they're at. And then, when I woke up this morning, I just felt like this is the Liberty spot. I feel like they're on. I like the line moving towards. When I got it, I made it official at minus 3.5 at Pinnacle, but it was wild. I don't usually jump ship. Yesterday, this was wild. When I capped this yesterday, I was on the Sparks. I ain't bet it, but I was looking at it all day. Then I woke up and started looking at some more things and looking at the Liberty. It's not like we ain't seen the Liberty come off a lot back-to-back losses before, but they just came off a loss where the first half they was doing what they were supposed to against the Lynx, and then they didn't. So first leg off the back-to-back, they got the Aces tomorrow. You might as well go ahead and get this one. So I like the spot. As long as you get me the 3.5 for the Liberty, I'll make both Kia Jackson and Liberty official.
I will line shop for you now. Peter, any final thoughts?
No, I'm going to hold off on this one.
This is the one I want. I want the under here. First half of back-to-back. I imagine. Well, let me ask you, Justin. What game means more to the Liberty? Playing here at Crypto in LA or playing in Vegas? Or is it just even the same?
Honestly, I would like to think. I want to say the Sparks beat them last time. So it was last time or the time before last, but they just
101.99. You're right. July 26th.
So my thing is, it's hard to think like a woman, but my thing is, wouldn't you want to beat the Sparks? Like they beat y'all, so and y'all coming off a loss, so what's revenge when you're coming off a loss anyway? So like,
and Liberty had beaten the Aces both times they faced them this year. Anthony Richardson says can't play unders in Sparks games. Yeah, I know. I get it. Their defense is very weak. But
then also, my only thought was with them playing tomorrow, like if they get upset today, I'm definitely gonna be on them tomorrow. But I like them today, so that makes me think the Aces get revenge tomorrow.
Yeah,
they blew out the Sparks today, and then get smoked by the Aces tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, and I'm with you. I think that is the script. Now, I'm still not going to bet the Liberty. And part of it's that I'd be making, building back up with the Sparks. I know my record doesn't indicate that, but I was in horrific situation, before I went 12-1, and a lot of that was on the back of the Sparks and on the Connecticut Sun. But I agree with you. If the Liberty take care of business, I think we get on the Aces as soon as possible. Maybe as soon as the line comes out. There's
a line out now.
What is it? I mean, again, we need to know what happens, I think, in the first game.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I want to say it was 2.5, but I know the over and under was 170.5, what I seen.
I got a 2. I got a 2 right now and a 170.
2. And the only thing with that is, like, the only thing is your whole thing, well, my whole thing falls apart. Like, I want to bet the Aces, like, soon.
Yeah.
Because depending on the outcome, that spread's going to move.
And what about the Mystics tomorrow? Golden State with 2 great performances at home, now flying all the way across the country to face the Mystics.
I'm about to give out the Mystics in about 45 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, it makes sense. It makes
sense. We do the games today for tomorrow, so I was looking at them while I was listening to y'all Cat Baseball, and it was like the board was just sticking out. I was like, what, Mystics? Valkyries off the back-to-back blowout home wins? I'm like, huh. And then I seen the Liberty was playing the Aces tomorrow. And I'm like, well, damn.
And what about the Storm's first win with Sykes on board against your Atlanta Dream?
Absolutely. They was dogs. Plus 1.5, right?
They are, yeah. Well, they're +1 right now, but it's moving in their direction.
I like the Storm. Just a spot.
Yeah, so do I. God, I'm hesitant to make moves without seeing what the market does. I'm not going to bet the Aces yet. I'll decide during the game. But Golden State with 2 huge wins at home, shutting down their opponents, and then flying across the country to play the Mystics, who feels like we've gotten over that Sykes trade.
I might just so I can get the number that I want. I might post stacks tomorrow or for tomorrow, like later on today. That way I can get the number that I want. Waiting until the morning don't work in my favor. I missed the number.
Well, if you're available to join us tomorrow with Brizzy, it'd be great.
Yeah, I'm available, but like that Aces number by that time gonna be long gone if it goes the way I expect it to go.
I agree. I agree. Let's just, for the line shopping here, I can get you a flat 4 if you haven't tweeted out the.
I'll take a 4.
I can get a flat 4 minus 108. I can get a 3.5 at minus 123.
No, I'll take the 4.
Okay, minus
4 minus 108.
All right, you are in business. Nice job getting that 177.5. Nice job, Am.
And you got me down for over Kia, right?
Yes, Ricky Jackson over 14 points, minus 118.
Yep.
So I'm going to move on this under in the Sparks Liberty game. And I understand, I completely understand the fear of betting unders in Sparks games. Again, though, this is like, I'm testing it with real money, which fucking sucks. But in the NBA, this is one of my favorite spots. The favorite on the first leg of a back-to-back, betting the under. We know that their focus is on both of these games. These are two big games. LA and then Vegas tomorrow. Now they've beaten Vegas twice. This game may mean more to them, which is something I got to sit with for a little longer. And it's it was a great breakdown by our friend Justin Mcelvy, who in 45 minutes will be alongside Ramon Scott and Ron Crawford, our great friends, with the 2-3 zone over at Tony Picks, the hit show. I'm going to pop Justin's X handle here in the chat. Please support our guy, Justin Mcelvy. Ricky Jackson over 14.5 points, Liberty minus 4, as well as the Fever team total over 88.5. Let me get this all here. I'm going to pop it in the chat here. Justin, any last words for the Cappers supporting the show?
No, thanks for having me, and I'll see y'all tomorrow for WNBA. All right, Pistol.
Okay. See you tomorrow.
Our guy, Justin Mcelvey. AM says this line says Spark City. It's funny how we can, staring at the same line, being in the game for this long, and we still, feel very differently on what the line means. That's part of the fun of this, that the line can be saying different things. The same line and the same movement. I don't know. I mean, with how well the Sparks are playing, how bad the Liberty looked against the Lynx, the trash teams that the Liberty beat, this line moving towards Liberty with all of the money that we've made, that a ton of us have made on Sparks lately. I think this line screams Liberty. In saying that, I still don't want them. I mean, that might be a mistake. I'm going to pop Justin's X handle here in the chat. All right, Peter, it is time for the birthday pick for a capper that means a lot to both of us. Mr. Nasty Nate. Mr. Nasty Nate. So I'm going to review all action here. Now, you've heard our action, but I'm going to drop the action from the cappers in the chat. We had a lot of our plays of the day given out. The pig milk play of the day actually is in the contender series, which is tonight. Radley De Silva at plus 112. He also loves the White Sox today, but he's also, the other pig milk play of the day is on Brian Reynolds over 1.5 bases. Stacks play of the day number 1 is Naylor RBI. Number 2 is Dodgers over 5.5. 9 legacy flank stake play of the day is the Texas Rangers on the run line. He's also on Astros double result and Schwarber over 1.5 bases. Spooner is on the Brewers money line, the Mets money line, Padres money line, and A's money line for Spooner. Bookie Buster play today. Number 1 is the Blue Jays. Number 2 is the Seattle Mariners. So that is our the plays of the day from our cappers here in the chat. And it is time, Peter. It is time, Peter, to deliver here for us the birthday pick for Nasty Nate's daughter.
Oh, you're not going to play that stupid intro first? All right. Okay.
Of course we will.
We're going to fix that very soon. Okay. Nasty Nate's daughter. I think that's if Nasty Nate was your father in life, I would consider that to be somewhat lucky.
Yes,
I would consider a person to be somewhat lucky.
Yes, we've seen the success of his son, who's now in university. And
no shit.
Oh yeah, he's young. He's probably just turned 19, if he's 19. Yeah, no, it says.
Nate has a kid in college.
Yeah, man.
Wow, good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him. I might not have predicted that. Good for him. Nasty Nate. All right, Nasty Nate's daughter. Happy 16th birthday. This is a big one.
It is.
This is a big one. I think Michael Garcia. I mean, it's going to have to be a hits, runs, and RBIs prop because all my picks here hits, runs, RBIs, props. I don't know. I mean, Gunnar Henderson. That's got to be the good one. That's got to be the good one. I'll make that. Gunnar Henderson hits, runs, RBIs over 1.5 minus 130. Happy birthday, Nasty Nate's daughter.
Birthday pick is in Gunnar Henderson.
P, what year was your 16th birthday?
I don't know. Like, you're a slick one there. You're a slick one there, Jose Bouquet. It was it was 19. So,
God, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, not that long ago. Could have been long.
Peter, at the Bet Bash as we speak, please post things for us on X so we can kind of live vicariously through.
Yeah. I've been doing it with Sean Higgs, by the way. Cheap plug for Sean Higgs. He's been posting like just pictures of him around Vegas, and then it's so funny. So shout out to Sean Higgs, who again, Pete, if you don't see fucking Sean Higgs, and I don't see a picture of you two on Twitter, I'll fight you the next time I'll see you.
For real.
That's good. It means that you didn't have to hang out with Higgsy and you get to kick Jose's ass. Win-win there. Win-win there, Pete. Pete,
Jimmy the back, always seeing the angles.
Is there a chance that you can jump on with us at another point this week at all?
Yeah, sure.
We'd love the updates. If you just came on, give us a little Bet Bash update.
Oh, sure. Do whatever you want. No problem.
Okay. Well,
where's the steak from tonight or tomorrow, Pete? What are we getting for steak
same
tonight?
Steak. He's gonna keep that same steak.
Yeah, this one is gonna go for like 3 days. I mean, I'm definitely gonna bring it and at least offer it to Higgsy when I see him.
You
if he doesn't want it, fine. But I'm gonna offer it.
You should have a chain and have it in a Ziploc right here around your neck.
I like that.
Gold chain, little fucking beef tech here.
Let them know what you're shitting on. I respect that.
DC Capper says, "What is your opinion on LA Sparks +4?" As if we didn't just. Good question.
Just rewind like 20 minutes. DC, you'll get the whole thing.
Yeah, I think the market's telling us that they're liberty in business. I'll tell you, DC, the line is taking me off of the Sparks. Taking me off of the Sparks. We love.
I'll tell you what I want to add from the Tampa Bay game.
Sure.
Now the problem is I kind of like I want to fade the A's pitcher, but there's no one in the lineup that I'm really like. So I'm going to take Caminero 1.5 minus 131, but the others I'm adding are all going to be from the A's. I'm going to take Rooker 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, Nick Kurtz and Soderstrom. Rooker minus 145, Kurtz minus 135, Soderstrom just minus 105, and I'm also going to take Rooker, Kurtz, and Soderstrom RBI props. So
wow. So does that mean that if you had a free bet, you'd be on the A's?
No, I just when I ran the matchups, I didn't see anything except Caminero that I liked, but that's not factoring in the spot for the A's pitcher. It's which is why we all want to fade him here. It's not factoring the spot for Lopez. It's just pure matchup and with the lines. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel you.
So,
Pete, we need updates. I'm going to push you on this. Just if you come on for a few minutes and just tell us, what went on the day before, and we won't even force you to give us a best bet. We just but we'd like it. But
I'll tell you the first. You want the first update?
Yeah.
I went to that friggin' town hall with Congressman Titus, who was actually quite a nice a good speaker. She seems like on the ball and trustworthy. It was interesting though. I don't know how easy it's going to be for them to repeal this law. Like once something's on the books in politics, it's very, very hard to get it taken off. It's much easier to get something put on the books than taken off the books. So
would you say this is the best thing that's happened to offshore gambling?
Yeah, I mean that's what they haven't thought through, is that it's going to be so bad. It's going to be like a little bit bad in so many different ways. It's just like they didn't really think through it, and it's like the marijuana stamp Stamp Act. You know that in the United States, that was declared unconstitutional 30 years after they passed it. So I think this law is very clearly unconstitutional, but it's going to take, if that's the route they go, that's going to take a while. I don't know how they're going to get it repealed. It's going to be tough. I mean,
this is political science, Pete. I love this.
I mean, it's just, well, what are they going to do? Who are they going to? It's very tough. It's very tough. So it really is kind of a bigger deal. Like it's if they actually enforce it, of course they're going to enforce it. Like a lot of people are going to get a little bit shocked, and people who know about it are going to like flee the U.S. market. It's going to be very weird.
There, AM says, weren't they already trying to go after banks to prevent offshore transactions as well? There's an offshore that I've had an account with for years, and it's based in Costa Rica. They're giving me the deals of a lifetime.
Yeah,
and I can't. None of my credit cards will put a transaction through. I can't get it in. Like deals that are just like, come on, really? Like huge, wonderful deals. And
credit cards.
Yeah,
Jimmy the bag. But come on, what is this, like 1998? Come on, pal.
Look,
Get
yes,
some
you did.
crypto, pal.
Look, I don't like the book that much, but that is the easiest way for me to get cash onto a site here.
Yeah, it is. I didn't even want to broach that subject with Jimmy because I didn't think we would be talking the same language there.
I mean, so you're saying what? Get into Bitcoin and send it over, Pete?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it now.
Or anything.
I don't know do you guys have the Cash App in Canada?
No.
So that's how I do it, Pete. I don't know how you be buying Bitcoin.
No, we don't.
That's a different ways, man. I mean, legal is illegal.
I've got to get action in, and our roller coaster will be beginning in 3 hours and 14 minutes. It was funny. Yesterday, I was like, I was given a beautiful angle in a bet from Morgan Spooner, and I was like, you know what? I'm not ready. I'm just not ready for this fucking roller coaster. I'm just not ready to go through all of this right now. I just would rather just sit here in the dark. And now I'm ready. Now I'm fucking ready. Let's get to fucking work, man. Let's get into battle. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. We are going to hear final words from our guy, Mr. Pete Loshak. But I just want to thank all of you here supporting the show. Ooh, I got to refresh to get the chat back up. But truly, thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for your support. We had a whole bunch of donos and a lot of people supporting us. We're coming up with a new way of having the people who donate, having them on the screen and on our website. So that's going to be in action. Tomorrow we have a big announcement on betting with the bag that I'm excited about. Nasty Nate, yes, your birthday pick is I'll let Pete give it out. Pete, your birthday pick for your daughter.
I don't know, man. Gunnar Henderson over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Kirby should be a little bit vulnerable, right, to some of these lefties. Gunnar Henderson, he's a pretty fucking good lefty hitter. 1.5. It was that or Michael Garcia. So I don't want to stick some 16-year-old minus 160 pick. So minus 130. Gunnar Henderson, 1.5 hits, runs.
Gunnar Henderson. Shout out to all you guys, Cheshire, Cat, Sports Scientist, Jacob. Thank you to Justin McKelvey delivering the goods in the WNBA. Nasty Nate, happy birthday to your daughter and love to your whole family. Don Play in the house. AM, thank you for all you guys who put so much hard work into the chat. Occupancy, thank you. There is Ramon Scott in the house. They don't expect bag coin. That's not a bad idea. That's something we should. that rings. That works, man.
Pete's gonna rug pull the fuck out of everyone.
No, that's a good idea.
Timmy Two Shoes, thank you so much. Big Zoe, Lex Steele, DC Capper. Thank you guys. Truly, so many of you guys supporting the channel. It truly means the world to us. So thank you so much. Old E, Timmy Two Shoes, thank you guys so much. Let's go get that money. Jose, any last words? And then hand it over to Peter to put a bow on it.
Pete, you better come on the rest of the week and give us.
I sure will.
Updates. You better, because I'm excited to hear about your man, just your adventures over there. So it should be a lot of fun. Shout out to you guys in the chat. Nasty Nate, good luck today with the birthday. Sports scientist Jacob, nice to see you. Nice to see everyone in here. Let's make some money today because I sure need it, and I'm sure all of you guys do as well. So let's go get after it today. Pete, please take us home.
And just the Team Rock as well. Much love to you, my friend, as well. Yes, Pete, take us home.
All right. First of all, shout out to the comment sec. This is really like a great show. Comment section impresses me. Jimmy the Bag fucking impresses me. Jose Bouquet impresses me. I'm tired as hell, but just wanted to shout out everyone. Very enjoyable to do these shows every week and very, very impressive. And so I'll just cheers you with this fucking T-bone steak, guys. Here you go. I bless the picks, bless the action. Let's have a great day. Get yourself a T-bone steak at some point in the future. They're great.